Hey everybody, we're excited this week to have Misty Marvin with us. Hey Misty,
Hey, hi.
for those that have been following us, you guys know that Misty was part of uh, what we would probably call the what makes you tick. Let's talk kind of weekly segments that Nell's kind of come up with, but that has been part of the chronic
Misty's been the queen of it all.
pain and awareness.
Oh, no,
But
really.
we had Courtney last week, and we was honored to have her. We've got some other people that are kind of lined up for the future weeks, and we've got some exciting announcements that we're not uh, it, we don't want to get into too much details, but we've talked a little bit about it, and we're just excited about some things that are kind of in the works. So
We can talk about the things you saw.
can we? We can.
Yes, we can.
Okay.
That's so awesome. I'm so excited. I know. So amazing.
Yes. So next Tuesday at 10 o'clock Mountain Time, we will be on Good Things Utah.
We, as in Rex, will show his face, and you'll hear a recording of me.
Yeah.
So, but I hope I represent you guys. There's no way to represent you guys. There's no way to fully, I cannot do justice to what you guys go through, but I hope I get close enough because damn it, you deserve it. Oh, and so do you.
Yeah.
So do you. It's time. So fast. Absolutely. We've been silenced and hiding in the background for too long. So really, yeah. And the only place that I've really ever kind of seen is, private groups where you have to be approved, and that's just to me sometimes so sad to think of. Yeah. Yeah. It just, I don't know. And we officially are partnered with ACPA, right?
Yeah, if we've been in contact. So Misty and I will. Misty actually got some engagement with them first after we were
Yep.
reaching out, and then I started some following up emails as well. But one of their managers is in direct contact with the CEO, and we're in the process of really identifying in this. It's a formal collaborative partnership in the sense that they are absolutely in and supportive of what we're doing, and they know that it's kind of mutually beneficial. Of course, we don't, we're not getting compensated by them. We're not, formally, involved with it in that way. But they're aware that we're going to be on Good Things Utah and kind of want to be a part of that. They could have,
Yeah.
easily just said, hey, thanks for what you're doing, but no, thank you. So they,
Yeah, we're trying to come together and find kind of a, it's a lot to fit in 5 minutes. We have a live session, and it's always a 5 minute session for Good Things Utah. So we're trying to fit a lot in there, but we're trying to work with them to fit. They have different videos and messages, and we're trying to find the best one that they have to represent you guys in a way that is knowledgeable but compassionate. Absolutely. So we'll get
yeah, and I wanted to talk about that a little bit because you know, it would be nice to be able to even just get a sound bite from the founder and the CEO, and we could just play that, right? They could just do what Nell's saying, or it could just be, um, a compassionate statement saying we are aware of what's happening, and you guys are allies, and we're here for you. And it's not just about the money donations that they could go to that site, and they're more formally advanced, and they've been around for since I think
40 years.
yeah 40 years.
Yeah, 40 years.
But it's interesting because Nell and I talk about the join the conversation. We've really had an appropriate conversation yesterday, and it's interesting because we talk about this join the conversation and some of the challenges that we have as in a society or people that are involved with the chronic pain community and those that sometimes aren't. How it could be, it could there could be such a gap that there's just an absence of the conversation, right? They're either um, avoiding it, or they have misconceptions about it, and so it's just not really happening. But even the conversation that we were having amongst the three of us, Julie and I, we were acknowledging the facts that there's a lot of positive that's going on with that organization, and the videos that you'll see that anybody can go and to watch. They've got a car with four tires kind of concept where it explains this idea that, hey, you've got someone who's a chronic pain, and we have your back in the sense that we want for you to be able to take care of your care, and we don't want people to just think that it's just medicines. So they kind of talk about how that's just one part of the tire, but that the other part are support groups and some different things. But at the same time, you could arguably, not that I want to say criticize, but it could come across, yeah, I mean,
If I
if you
can
want,
speak on it a little
yeah,
bit,
you bet,
just
yeah.
coming from someone that suffers with you guys. Yeah. I absolutely, when I first or I'd seen this concept of, for a car that's trying to work on four flat tires, right? I absolutely loved it. So they explain only one tire is medication and things that they can offer maybe physically, right? Um, and the rest is kind of we've got to take care of ourselves. We've got to speak up when something's going wrong. We've got to, and it kind of was a lot of to me. This is what you guys need to do. Right. And I'm going to be honest, and I hope that we can. This is why I really want them to partner with more and more people that are actually suffering with it, because the list of what we need to do, first of all, I see most sufferers already trying to do, and many it has nothing to do with their efforts. It's another professional's or someone else's, or it's too difficult for a body that's going through so much, or we don't have enough money to do what might be suggested, or it to me it was it lacked a lot of of real insight of the day to day that happens in our lives. Yeah, it's hard. And like you said, it's things that we're already doing, or we've tried, or right. We don't have the means, whether it's physical, monetary, like we just can't do it. Yep. Sometimes we don't have a supportive professional team. Courtney. Yeah, just recently. Yes. Bless her heart. Yes.
What she went through
A
in the
horrendous
hospital.
experience in the hospital. Unacceptable experience. And absolutely, I think most of us can say we've experienced being treated or being made to feel like we're crazy. Yeah, and even worse.
Or strung out or addicted or whatever.
Yeah, or just
lazy.
kind of abandoned. Forget the pills. Yep. Yeah. I was pretty much told to get out of an office. So before, and that my work that shattered my heart because of how I take pride in having honesty and character. And so that one was just wow, it's brutal. And so we I hope that they really have an excitement to talk to us as a community more and come together so that we can make sure these messages that are being sent, number one, first and foremost, is of compassion. That should be their number one videos out there. Compassion. And then we get into how can we help you get to these other things? What can we do maybe with some of the money that hopefully will be even more, more so donated? Because I would hate to, I just, maybe, I don't know, I don't have all the answers, but I guess that's why I'm really hoping that we can all put our heads together and we can have all walks of life and all types of conditions, and we can all say, look, this system is broken. Right.
Yeah, because I think that's one of the reasons, even even if you were to take all of the Facebook support groups, and then there it's not there there's a lot of different kinds of things that are going on that are all kind of the spirit of what we're
Right.
trying to do. But I think that anybody that's trying to help lead a conversation, uh, some of the roadblocks I think that you get in is that you can't have the conversation without kind of walking that line of, yes, there are organizations like the ACPA, and hats off to them, but you know, are there some things lacking, or could a video that Nell's talking about be the very first video of a compassion before you get into any welcome, to what
A list
we're
of
doing.
tasks that we need to make sure to
Yeah.
do in order to live our best life. Well, let me tell you what my list would be, and that is for me to live my best life. Like I think overall, and tell me if I'm wrong, we want to be heard, and quite frankly, we want to be heard in a way where we're not interrupted and we are not judged. Just 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 listen. Yes. Listen. Yes. Like, it always makes me think of like never judge a book by its cover. Like it could be the plainest cover in the universe, but it could be the best dang book and the most informative book that you've ever read in your life. Yeah. But if you would just, you look at it and go, well, this looks boring. I don't want to read it just because you're seeing it on the outside.
Yeah.
But what you're missing out on is so much more. So much. Just simply stopping for a minute and having those conversations and listening to that story, right, can make a world of a difference. Yeah, I was telling Rex that the way I view it, or view all of you that I've been able to meet so far, and that I already knew before, and those who have already, come out with their stories, whether it be on TikTok or YouTube or wherever, they've chosen to let us enter into their world, which was such a selfless thing to do. And I view it as I was telling Rex, when you group us into, not only group us together as one, just one entity almost, but you group us negatively, you miss out on the brilliance that I know is each and every one of these people. You don't know what they lived before. You don't know what their goals were. You don't know what they still are doing while they're trying to breathe through their pain. You don't know, what they believe, think. You don't know their character. And no one's doing the job of like, let's stop and get to know. Right. Absolutely.
Well, and one of the things that I find interesting is that, um, as we're preparing things that need to be put together for this 5 minute segment, there's, regardless of what we end up landing with, uh, including with the ACPA, and we've got something else that's kind of exciting that involves an, our, can we say that?
What?
Joy, the artist?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay,
You know more about it than me.
we'll save that. We've got somebody working on an art piece that will probably be ready. Anyway, the point is, um, there's only so much that you can fit in.
Sorry, I wasn't looking up, you guys, so I like leaned over.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
lean out of the
yeah,
yeah, because I'm down on the floor.
yeah,
I'm just on the floor down here.
yeah. There's only so much that you can fit in 5 minutes, and so there's no way that any of us can walk away from whatever happens and feel like that it's that it's done justice if we have an expectation that that everything's going to be included that's worthwhile. You know what I mean? My Although it's very critical that I get as much of Nell's recording included, um, I recognize that most of the gist of what that 5 minutes is going to be is going to be basically, hey Nisha, thanks for having us on. Nell's gone through a lot of procedures. It's led to that combining with her dream as she's been influenced with YouTube to reach out to everybody suffering. And we started doing that and we started collaborating and we had
And we have now, we feel like, already this small dream team.
mhm,
So, absolutely. Yes.
you know, the collaboration video, the live that happened and how Mandy to Kitty and then how that's evolved to where, because one of the things that in researching her a little bit further, that she's most interested in is not so much the past, even though obviously you need to understand that, but where are things going? What's happening? And so that's going to be one of the biggest takeaways is kind of the excitement of not just the weekly lives, but how we can just continue to increase, exposure and really kind of move into, YouTube even more so and things. And
Yep, we're hoping to be on a podcast soon. Yeah, that's awesome. It will be an important one if that happens, and yeah.
yeah, and we have to be careful with the podcast. We actually had to we mentioned some details on the other live, and that one has a little bit more legalities associated with it. So we had to slice out some of those details until that's more formalized. But we do have that still kind of in the works that we're hoping. But the point is that I'm not going to be able to like comment on everything that and and that's where it's really just going to be.
No,
This
but I
is
think you'll be able to sum it up beautifully.
yeah, but because
Absolutely.
I want the viewers to see the momentum and that it's about joining the conversation. See, because that 5 minute segment is not going to be the conversation.
But we're hoping that 5 minute segment turns into even bigger segments with bigger, audiences where we have now a half an hour to talk and we can
Yeah.
invite some of you to come with us. We truly are hoping
Yeah,
to
I mean,
just
can you imagine being on Good Morning
growing.
America? You know?
Oh my gosh. I mean, let's just plan
Like
a dream come
yeah.
true.
I mean, Ellen, Oprah, Dr. Phil, you think of it. I,
Let's go.
I,
Yeah, I know.
I wouldn't think I before things had progressed to their at, I would think that it would be a little bit kind of like okay, everybody would kind of love that, but to see things progress the way they are, and my friend Chad Hymas was on Dr. Phil, and so I mean you never know. I mean he had a bale of hay that landed on him, and he's a world speaker, and he was involved in the collaboration video.
Well, and he was on, what I loved is he was on Dr. Phil for the very reason to help save another quadriplegic's life thinking
Yeah.
and helping him believe that he was worth living and he was worth living a good life. And that is exactly what we're all trying to do. We're all trying to help each other say those very things. Right?
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
so isolating, and I've dealt with this for 10 years. When I was first diagnosed, I was 25, and it's like 25 years old, I should be going out. Now, granted, I had kids, so I wasn't really going out partying, but still, but it was. I'm 25. I should be able to go out. Yep. And have a good time. But it was like I physically can't. Like I'm so tired, or I'm in so much pain. I lost so many friends, or people just looking at me going, okay, this chick is crazy. She just wants drugs. Yeah.
Mhm.
Which really wasn't the case. Trust me, I'd rather not be on any medicine. But it is so isolating. And I'm not going to lie, those thoughts have gone through my head so many times that, is it worth the pain? Like, is this life worth it? Like, is it obviously, with my kids and, I would never want to leave them. But as a person, regardless if you're a mom, a wife, a sister, brother, it doesn't matter. You feel so isolated that you don't think about the other things because it's so consuming. Yeah. If that makes sense. Yeah, like, can consume you, and you do get tired of feeling like these people think I'm just crazy, or these people think that I'm just lazy, or um, they just think I want to, you know, take all the drugs or waste all the money. You know what I mean? Like they have all these weird preconceived notions in their head of what they think we are or what we want to do. But what they don't realize is we do have big dreams. We do want to accomplish all of these amazing things. I wanted to be a police officer. Yeah. I've had other things inside, you know,
Yeah.
there is zero way that I could do that with the amount of pain that I was in. Right. Like, or even take the pain out of it, the brain fog, the fatigue. Yes. There's absolutely no way that I could perform that job safely. Right. With that. So yes, I had big dreams. Now I'm sure there was things that you had big dreams that you haven't been able to accomplish, or things that we weren't able to do. And it's not that we don't want to do them, and that we don't have the fire in us to do them. We are limited, and I think that is the biggest thing that people don't understand. Yeah.
Well,
And so many just don't. So many do not want. This is the truth. And if you're in here or look at this later, and you're not someone that has chronic pain or a disease or something you're dealing with all the time, I'm gonna give you. It's gonna be a little bit of a truth bomb, and if you, I hope that you take it and you run with it in a way that you can learn from it, and not take offense to it. But the truth is, there's far too many that have their good health and health above everything else. If you've got it, you get on your knees right now and thank Heavenly Father for that, because without it, my word. Anyway, there's been too many people where you are the ones that don't want to come out of your comfort zone to find out what it's like in a hellish environment. And you have decided already what you won't do for us if we can't meet you halfway. You guys, there's too many of you that have abandoned us, left us, and made us feel worthless because we could not do something your way. We couldn't run as fast as you.
yeah. And that's a good segue to a comment that for me is probably one of the most powerful realizations to all of this, because it's gonna the substance and all the content that we can get into and all of the stories and the example that just kind of all flows, but the the um, the barrier between breaking through and really kind of seeing that happen is what I would consider is just a normal human condition, and that is anybody has kind of a tendency to gravitate. They gravitate to the healthy and the pleasant.
Right.
And so, if you have people, even loved ones, that are maybe healthier and more pleasant, or they're maybe being more pleasant because they're enjoying their health, then you know people are just going to have a tendency to have their behavior choices being, I want to be more around them, right? I want to have conversation with them and things this nature. And so even though there's a lot to be said about the fact of without the the chronic pain patients having to change anything, that there's a lot to be said about us doing it anyway, right? Doing, being selfless and whether, getting out of that comfort zone or experiencing something that's unpleasant. But I still think that it's important to note, and this is where, when I think of Good Things Utah and what we're doing here in the live, as to why we're able to break through some of those barriers, is that we're able to, whether you want to call it like what Nell said, coming halfway, or whether you want to have it be where we, carefully have our engagement with those that maybe aren't as exposed to it, to be done to where it's actually enticing. It's attractive.
Well,
It's pleasant.
Yeah, it's a redefining completely of what coming halfway means.
Yeah. Exactly. Oh yeah.
Your definition of coming halfway, believe me, that get it out of your head.
Yeah.
If you're a healthy person, get out of your head.
Yeah.
We
Exactly.
will not be able to meet you halfway, not
Yeah.
in your definition.
Mhm.
So you have to listen to us. I mean, I've had women who, because I think I brought this up before, because I said I can't have you, and it was incessant. When can we come over? When can we come over? Because in our church, um, that we're a part of, we're assigned, you know, women to check on women, and it was a monthly thing, and it was when can we come over? When can we come over? When can we see you? When can we talk? And it didn't matter that how much I've explained it. I cannot have you over. I can't plan anything. I can't put the phone to my eye because that's where my tumors are. And my specialist doctor, I mean, if you want him on the phone yourself, you can ask him. But he has advised me not to put that anywhere near my tumor. And a lot of times, like just like Misty brought up, even when we're not in pain, we're now exhausted because we just went through hours of it, right? We're exhausted, we're foggy, we're shaky. The exhaustion is unexplainable sometimes. It is just, and because of that, they there was no, here's a note on the door saying I love you. And I know that we can't come in, but that doesn't mean that we can't reach your heart.
Yeah.
Or we can't find out. And I gave them a list of ways that they could have a relationship with me. Nope, I was done. I was easy to cast off.
Yeah.
I think the one thing with human nature, though, is human nature, we are very selfish. We want it our way or no way. Yeah. And if you don't get it that way, it's very hard to understand, yeah, that, oh, well, they're not being rude or disrespectful, or they don't want to not be my friend, or they're not mad at me. It's, no. Yeah. They need it a different way. I recently, for example, I had a friend that, kind of just wrote me off, and kind of went off on me saying, I think you're fake, and, I need you to be a friend, and I need you this. And I said, I'm your friend. I'm always there. I might not be there in the way that you want me to be there. Yeah. Still there. I still care. Yes. I might not be able to, text you back the minute you text me because I might be sleeping. Yeah. Or, I might be at a doctor's appointment. Or, right, hey, I'm just having a bad night, so I don't want to answer the phone because I'm in my head right now. It's not that I'm being a bad friend. It's not that I'm trying to push you off or be mean or anything else. It's, I can't be there the way that you want me to be there. Doesn't mean that I'm still not there. Not at all. Mm-hmm. And I think, yeah, because it sounds like you explained that to her, and I know with all of my interactions, I put 100% of my effort to make sure what was said in a kind way, that I explained it in detail, that I gave them resources and ways to reach me, that they understood that this meant nothing in regards to our relationship on my end, In fact, I wanted it to be completely opposite. I want to get close to people. I want to know about their struggles as well, and their goals, and their life, and their triumphs. I want to celebrate with them. I don't want anyone to feel like they can't celebrate around me. That has all been detailed in messages to certain people. Oh, yeah. And I have been expendable regardless. Yeah. That's where I get really, because when I start thinking of other people suffering, like remember last week, I forget, I apologize, especially if you're in here right now, I forget her username, but she was saying how blessed we were to have, a group. Was that? Truth, faith, something like that. And she was saying how she had been abused, abandoned, starved, and oh my word, if you want to get me angry. Yeah, I think I read that, and I can't remember off the top of my head because I was in there. Yeah, did that not just drop your jaw? And we know it happens, but to hear it from one of our own, the protective. Oh yeah. Oh my word. Well, and I think that's the other thing too is we are us as sufferers and survivors and whatever. When we find out about other people hurting or struggling in general with the same thing, I think we come closer together because it's like, oh my goodness, that person understands. That person gets it. That's so it's like, yeah, like I'm gonna hold on to you and not let go. Yep. And then when we hear, because we know how it feels and how hard it is and how isolating it is, we hear that people are being hurt and abused. Yeah. We're very empathetic because we know what it feels like. It's not we're imagining, it's we know. Maybe not to the same degree that they're going through. Like, right. We never know 100% because we're not in their shoes. But we're more empathetic because we understand than most people do because we've gone through the same thing. Yeah. And for me, and as you guys get to know me a little bit more, I don't even think you need to get to know me a little bit more. I think you guys can feel I am a panther when I feel like someone that I love and someone that is they already have the weight on their shoulders. They've already been given one of the most difficult trials you can ask for in life. And then I hear about that they have been hurt further or abused or abandoned. Now you got me really upset. I get really, really
protective. She's very protective.
Very. Now the lion in me comes out too. Trust me. Well, then we got a whole zoo. So
we got a whole zoo. We got a jumbo.
Yeah, it's like the mama bear. Yeah. You don't mess with my family, man. So far, we've got a lion and a panther. Do you guys want to play? No, you don't. Promise. No.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Well, but it's interesting. But even with that, where sometimes you feel like the right thing to do is to just lay into a big part of society where we're forget having a conversation. We're still trying to balance that with because if you still have that human element, whether it's a 5-minute segment on GTU or whether it's a live like this, even people that are whether they're in pain or not, they they want to be a part of things that are healthier and positive. And so talk about a challenge and a burden, which sometimes I think it really adds to the isolation and the despair that sadly causes people to take their own life, is because they feel like that the task at hand of bridging that gap so that they're feeling like that they're not on the sideline anymore is so vast and beyond them that if they don't feel connected with other people, let alone their higher power, they're like, I mean, I can't, it would be like, I'll use the Lord of the Rings, analogy. It'd be like one soldier and like you got all these orcs coming down the hill, right? You're dead. You're not.
Yeah.
But,
Well, listen, can I say something really
mhm,
quick about this is how I feel about that. This is how strongly I feel about any any type of abuse. Okay, so we don't tolerate human beings hitting human beings, right? You go to prison. We
Right.
don't tolerate. We don't tolerate. We're really starting to get segue in online abuse. Well, I can't wait for the day when it is put into law. When someone has a disease or chronic condition that that and I don't even sometimes I struggle with the word disabled because I feel like we are some of the most able as far as our spirits
Yeah.
because we've had to rise above every day, every hour. We have to rise above so much. But one day, I cannot wait until it is passed into law. You mess with those people that have they are already, that would be like going up to someone who, you know, is in bed and they've got cancer in their hospital and abusing them in any sort of way. Why isn't that a crime? Why isn't that?
Oh,
There's
it
some times
absolutely
where I
should
feel
be.
like it is absolutely disgusting to a point. Not all, but some things. Like, I feel like if someone is relying on you and you abandon them, because one person I know specifically, her husband left her. He left her without meds. He left her without any way to get any meds. He left her without money. He left her without. Why doesn't that hold at least a small, not just a slap on the wrist? My word.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. No, I totally agree.
how is it okay when when we're just barely hanging on and we have people checking out of life right and left, and we don't feel like it's okay for us to talk because we're immediately interwoven into this drug pandemic, which I don't even want to go. I have such empathy towards any addict because that all comes from pain. So, but it's a difficult situation, and the judgment is unreal, and we're afraid to say anything. This is how
Right.
I feel personally. I have the most amazing team of doctors, but still, there's times where I'm like, what if I say the wrong thing? And they see it, and they won't see me anymore. And what if they're like, I don't want to be a part of this because I'm afraid of being judged by my peers and you know, and I'm afraid that, you know what I mean? This has
mhm.
got to stop. It's got to stop.
Yeah. I
Something's
agree.
got to be put into place, law wise, you know?
No, I absolutely agree.
And
Absolutely.
I admire Nell, and you know, one of the things that I think makes her really well suited for kind of being, you know, I guess I would say at the core of kind of a lot of this is that she is somebody that has so much grace. So you've got this, uh, you've got this individual that is just being, that's living through so much pain that the last thing that you're wanting to feel is to be pleasant for somebody for any reason.
Right.
Yet she's also has, the heart of gold and is selfless and has goals and dreams and wants to, do good in the world and has class and is artistic and loves her style and her makeup and all these kinds of things that are just, normal.
I mean, why are you stopping there?
Yeah, but,
Just keep
but
going.
I was like,
So while you're at it,
what?
I
yeah,
can do some of that
yeah,
too.
There is not a pill I could take that could make me feel like that. So what? No,
but
I'll tell you real quick. Sorry to interject, but
yeah.
there's two things that I pray for that that I pray for every day, and I pray hard that I can show up for you guys in a way. And you guys, Misty You're looking at an angel on that screen, and she's right there. She's right there. She's running as hard as she can, equally so, to me and Rex and Courtney and any of you that are new here. You cannot be among better human beings. So, with that said, from when I was little, I had a fire within me. We'll call it that panther. Very, very little. I could not stand seeing anybody bullied. And something happens within me even when I was little. It didn't matter what size, didn't matter if it was the boys, didn't matter if it was a group. There's something that I just kind of black out and I can't tolerate it.
Mm-hmm.
I've given second grade, I gave a boy a bloody nose. I had him pinned down, not the other way around. I can't take it. My soul can't take it. That is just, and the other thing I thought very deeply about, and you guys know how much little Tayton helped me. He pushed me and said, "What are you waiting for?" You know, in his little 15 months of life. And I think a lot of it, which we all experience, is this hesitation. How much do we let people in? Because there's a real possibility that you could do damage to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I've really thought hard and prayed hard. And I thought, what's the worst that can happen to me? Living in a tent with no medication, with no. And as I prayed more and more, I can say to all of you, without a doubt, I would give it all up. I don't care who turns their back. I don't care what's taken away from me. I don't care because that's how big this is. So I'm not worried about offending some people. I don't want to. That's not what I'm setting out to do, or Misty, or anyone else that's kind of heading this. But if something does sting you, then it's something you got to look at. Something we all have to look at. But I'm willing to give it all up because this is too damn important, and you guys are too damn important.
I'm right there with you, and I think
I knew she'd say that.
like no, honestly,
I know.
You know, I told Rex this like when we first, in the first initial talk of collaborating and what we could do to, spread awareness or even just start that conversation.
Yeah.
It started with that video, and I just felt like I needed to send it to Rex.
Yeah, she's so in tune, you guys. She's so in tune because seriously, I don't have a lot of really low. Overall, I've been a very look at my blessings type of person because I am so entirely blessed. I'm even blessed to have these trials because look who I get to associate with. But I was not in a good place after the third denial for a really important surgery.
Yeah,
just not herself.
Misty felt she had a little tap on her shoulder. She does not question when that happens. And she made sure to tell Rex, she make sure Nell sees this. And Misty doesn't even, I don't even know if you know, it was the exact day that I told Rex, I feel hopeless.
Yeah.
And I don't feel that very often at all.
She's
That's how in tune you are. So learn from this girl. If you're feeling like someone needs something, you never question it. That's the spoonful of sugar I'm talking about. She gave me a huge dose that day. And you can put yourself, Misty, right up there with little Tate as far as people who are my wingmen, So
okay, now you're gonna make me cry over here. Like I'm trying to hold back the tears, but now I don't think I can do it.
I don't care because you're so heaven sent. You don't understand. And we don't say it enough to you, you know.
So when I sent that video, and I don't know now if you know this part, but I did briefly tell Rex, like, 2020 was really hard for me.
Yeah.
And before 20, so September 2019 into 2020, and about April of 2020, I really started to focus on myself and loving myself, and I felt this calling of I need to use myself, my story. I want to help people. I want to inspire people. I want to, help support. But I didn't know how. I didn't know what. Like, it was like, I am this Wisconsin girl.
Yeah.
It was like, who am I? Who am I?
Who's gonna listen to me? Yeah.
Like, right. So I continued to do it, and then the whole TikTok thing, quarantine. I think lots of people discovered TikTok during quarantine.
Yeah, that's so true.
And I started to realize, like, hold on, I have a platform where I might not be physically talking to somebody, but I have a way that I can use my story to reach those people. And it was really starting, all of the things, whether it's the chronic pain or, I'm an abuse survivor, so dealing with that and just, all of that. It was like, okay, this is the start of it. It's beginning. And then I sent that to Rex, and look at where it's come in the last month.
That's insane. I did not know that.
Honest to God,
I didn't know that.
I truly believe it was God. Like I said, I felt that calling, but it was like, how, when, no idea what I'm doing. I'm a nobody. It has turned into something where this is just the beginning.
Yeah, we're kind of now.
Just the beginning. Like, I would have never in a million years on March 4th, when we turned TikTok purple, see the amount of purple that I did.
Yeah, really. People really responded.
And that, I told Rex, the next time purple happens, well, that's gonna be, when we compare it, it'll be a pond next to a sea. That's
right.
How.
And it's just and the amount and the live that we had, and like I knew it was going to be amazing. I knew in my heart it was going to be amazing, but I didn't have expectations because I didn't want to set that to where.
That's because that's what we do every day. We have to live that way.
Did it exceed them? You got to tell me, Misty. Yeah. Did it really?
100%.
How could it not? We all were blown away.
I really, like, I knew things were going on, and Rex, like I said, you were truly, yes, I was helping, but you truly were the glue that brought all of that together that day, like with the live. And
he is a bull, isn't he? When he decides, nothing stops him.
He is determined and persistent. And he's gonna make it happen, and that's good. Yeah, he's pretty hot sometimes. Is that why you're in sales? Rex?
It's not.
He has been. And he's done an amazing job.
Yeah, I've done sales, but
this is a guy. Let me just say a really funny story to them because it'll make them laugh.
Yeah.
This is a guy that convinced, like a barber shop to reopen after they were closed so he could get his hair cut that night. I'm like, who are you? He just is. He is a bloodhound, and if you put the scent in front of him, and it's something, and now it's dealing with people that he loves, with his whole entire being. We have the biggest advocate and somebody that has endless energy when it comes, and so you're a huge blessing to us, Rex, because you can do what we can't.
I love it. I mean, I appreciate that. What I do in short for a living is after someone who has purchased the software for their company comes out of sales, I help them go through the onboarding process so that they're
Yeah.
starting to use their software. And there's a lot of detail and technicalities that are involved with making sure that all the intricacies are really, there's quality assurance, there's project management, there's training,
While at the same
there's
time, you have to be very
yeah,
personal.
communication.
Yeah.
You've got to be able to engage. You have to be intuitive to kind of sense where people are kind of scared in one area. You have to know how to tie down loose ends, and
Which, if I can interject,
mhm,
is it okay to kind of, well, you guys know we've talked about Rex has OCD,
and that
and
helps.
we'll go into that. It does.
And my
But
perfectionism helps.
at the same time, his OCD and perfectionism,
Helps.
he has learned to, this is where it can benefit me, and then he has had to learn that intuitiveness, and when you're dealing with a human being that doesn't struggle with that, he's worked his ass off to put into place those things to kind of slow it down when it needs to be and let it run full force, kind of like we do with our illnesses. What can benefit me in what way and in what time? You know?
Yeah, because I think that that's also another part of the human condition that we all struggle with is trying to really truly, like Nell's saying, view the things that we have, where the world is really messed up with their mindset on how to think of it, right? In terms of, oh, I've got this condition. I mean, goodness, so much of the world is so messed up that they literally still believe that someone's inferior because of their color, skin color.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because somebody like Obama, who's got an appeal or cause, they I don't know all of their mannerisms, but they connect with a lot of the people that are white, and those are people that help. I don't know, you know what I mean? There's when there um and and so when you are able to talk about OCD and perfectionism or bipolar, and you're able to do it in a way that maybe gives a different face than what people might think is, oh, that's that dangerous person, that weirdo that I've got to have my kids, away from, or you got your chronic pain patients, or you, like Nell was saying, you're seeing that, yeah, there's some disabilities, but it's not like every waking moment is just dead in bed. I mean, yeah, there could be some of that, but absolutely they could be so productive in different ways. And um, I don't know. It's just it helps us to, I think, challenge how we get conditioned to think of those the nonsense of any kind of stigma,
Absolutely.
because
Yeah.
and
Stigma is one of the hardest things. Once it's in place, it is so hard to change.
yeah,
That's true.
Because, like you said, it's conditioned. It's that preconceived notion of, like the color of the skin, or in my case, like, my chronic pain now, all of it. Nate knows better than anybody because he's been there for 10 years, but he sees it. You hear somebody that, oh, they have lupus, you think, oh my gosh, this person's super sick, or this person is, this, that, or the other thing. Or here's another one, fibromyalgia.
Yeah,
that's
true.
just made up.
Yeah.
that's a whiny baby that's
It's so damaging because people literally accept it as fact.
Right. And they don't take to get to know it. And before I was sick, you hear people that have lupus, or my sister has MS. It was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But if you would look at my sister, you would never think in a million years that she actually has MS.
No.
Like, she, and when I got sick with the lupus, it was, then all of a sudden I found out, oh, my aunt has it. Oh, my cousin has it. I was like, wait, I didn't know that. Like, you don't know, but then when you're reading it, and if you look it up or Google what is lupus? I have people ask me all the time, what is lupus? And you have to go into this long, it's a systemic autoimmune disease that can attack this, or this.
Yeah.
But if you Google it or if you look it up, the most horrendous pictures and articles and things come up that it's like, okay, yes, that is true, but it's not like that 24/7.
Yep.
Yeah.
So a lot of
If I'm in the
times,
sun too long, I get a god-awful rash on my arms.
yeah.
It doesn't mean that it's there 24/7, and no, I'm not going to give it to you.
Yeah.
So you just touched on something that I haven't thought of for a while. So often, it's another one of those. This is why we could talk forever in our community about different reasons of why we feel isolated or why we don't talk or why we don't open up. One of those reasons is because maybe we're not getting enough answers when we're even after a diagnosis. So we go in, we look it up, and we get scared shitless, and so we back out. And then we're like, no, I don't. It's okay. I don't. No, I'm not gonna. It's all right. And we kind of go into this denial phase sometimes. And if you don't speak it, it's not there. And so that's a part, maybe a smaller part, but still part of the problem.
I agree, and I'm not gonna lie. Like when I got diagnosed with lupus, I was scared to death because I literally felt like, oh my god, this is the end. Like, because you do hear those lupus and it attacks your liver and attacks this and it could be, life or death. But what they don't tell you is all the different levels, the different types of lupus, because there's 3 different types that you can have. There's so many different things. Mm-hmm. Now, this has been the longest year and a half I probably have ever dealt with because of the lupus and the medications and everything like that.
Like, did you have a kind of flare up this year too? Or
I get flare ups all the time. So it started because in June 2019 I was like, something's not right. I'm like, I am not feeling well, but I couldn't pinpoint it. Like usually because I've been sick for so long, like if I'm not feeling well, I'm like, oh, my thyroid's off. Right. 90% of the time, I'm right.
Yeah.
Because you get to learn your body.
You do.
And in June, I was like, I can't. There is something wrong. Like I was so fatigued. I was so tired, and I got my thyroid checked. It wasn't my thyroid, so I was like, you know what? We're just gonna make a bazillion appointments with my bazillion different oncologists, whatever, the ologists, the cardiologists, neurologists, endocrinologists, all the ologist doctors.
All the ologists, yeah.
And I was like, something's not right. And the rheumatologist, it has been wonderful, but he was like, you have lupus-like symptoms. I was like, what the heck is lupus-like symptoms?
Yeah.
How can you have like symptoms?
Yeah.
He was like, well, we need to monitor it more.
Yeah.
And then it was like, okay, now I have ulcers in my mouth. Okay, now I have ulcers in my ears and my nose. I'm getting a rash. Like it was awful. Like all of these things, and every single time I get a symptom, we go to Google, right?
Yeah.
But it was, okay, my doctor said these are lupus-like. So let me just see if this would correlate.
Oh no.
And it did. And I would get more sick, and then I had Raynaud's pop up, which is very hand in hand with
lupus. What's that?
It's the blood flow to your hands and your feet.
Yeah.
They disappear. My tips of my fingers turn like white as a ghost. They go numb when they're cold. So like when I'm typing during the day, I'm not gonna lie, I have gloves. So when my fingers start getting cold, and people can lose fingers because it's essentially the blood. Like you lose blood in your fingers.
Those are intense symptoms.
Yeah. Like it's not good. Like there was another, you can't ever pronounce the name of it, but it was also known back in the day as Mitchell's disease, where I literally felt like the bottom of my feet all of a sudden turned bright red, and then my toes, really weird, but they swell up, and I call them fat sausages because they literally they swell up and they hurt. And you know, like when you jam your toe like in the door, or like you stub your toe and it hurts.
Your nerves are going, yeah, that hurts so bad.
Yeah, it was like that without stubbing my toe. It was
my gosh.
the most painful I've ever dealt with. Like it was god awful.
Oh, the ulcers alone would have done me in. I cannot stand a canker. I can't stand a cold sore.
I had one that was an inch long on the
what?
the top of my mouth. Like it literally was from the top all the way back, and it was right like in between my lip and my gum. It was right in that crease.
So you must have not there. I can't imagine you being able to eat at all. Really not.
I couldn't. It was a lot of soft, like mashed potatoes
and
smoothies, and even that, I was having to rinse my mouth out.
Yeah.
But it was so difficult to get finally for him to put it in my chart that I was diagnosed with lupus.
Yep.
Because as soon as I could get him to put it in the chart, then all of a sudden, all of these things were available to me.
Yeah.
Like, but until they put that in your chart, you don't have it.
It's like you don't. You just aren't. It's like you're not there, and then you're there.
Until they choose, until they decide that is what we think you have. You could go your whole life not even knowing
what you have. We need to be careful because there are doctors and specialists out there that I swear they are heaven
that are amazing.
Sent. And they are without them, I don't know where some of them, especially the ones I have now, and my pharmacist and everybody.
Yes.
They are the top of the top.
Do they know you by name yet? Because mine do.
Right, tell them about that experience.
We drove up to. We pulled up to
the. They know my car and they have it ready for me by the time I get to the window.
So I'm never out ever. And so one day, it was right after a doctor's appointment, and we went straight to the pharmacy, and Rex pulls up, and the tech says, she lowers her head and she goes, "Is that Nell?
Is that the Nell?
Is that the Nell?" And I was like, "What is happening right now?" And I'm like, "Yeah, no." But she's like, "It is so good to meet you." And she just, it was, they put their when they you know you've got something, you've got some issues. When Rex always jokes, when they hand you a grocery bag to put your meds in, they're like,
every time.
Well, and they really developed kind of a closeness with her because they know that she's, because of the opioid epidemic, has been so careful.
Yeah, that's true.
And I can't imagine being in the pharmaceutical industry, like at your Walgreens and things, where I'm sure you see all sorts of things, but even then, you're not in a position to kind of judge, who's abusing and who's not, or whatever.
That's what makes the world when you hear whether it's a doctor, a specialist, a pharmacist, or even in an emergency situation. Because let's go back to Courtney real quick. Come on, give me a break. Courtney's been in the hospital countless times. Right. They have charts, they have notes, and there is absolutely no reason, with all the knowledge, and now they connect, just like we all do on the web. Doctors have the ability to connect, and all the pharmacies are connected, so they can see when someone is abusing the system.
And all the health systems can now because I can see multiple health systems under one chart.
That's why it's completely unacceptable nowadays. to treat someone that little, that was just total abuse to me, her whole story.
You know, and the exciting things, guys, is no one was actually reminding me to do this, and I started getting responses from some groups. But there's people that are having similar conversations and having success with it. That I think, Heavenly Father obviously works throughout the world, right? With wherever He can. That's one of the healthy views that I have of Him is that His job, in a nutshell, is that He actively looks for every place and every person willing where He can bless someone somewhere,
Of course.
and
That's what it's about.
that's what He's actively doing. And so I've started joining some of these groups and inviting people uh, to TikTok and YouTube's, and so we might have some people saying, "Oh, what's going on over there?" And vice versa, right? And so that's part of what we recommend is that
So,
there's not just one organization that's just going to be like everybody stop doing what you're doing and just
Right.
it's going to be this
we want to all join in. So if you guys, all you have to do is type in chronic pain in Facebook, in Instagram. If you guys see, I'm asking just this of you, and I know, don't ever feel like whenever we're saying, hey, we could really use any help. We know that could be a month from now, depending on what you are going through. But if you guys type in and you just almost all of them, you're going to have to be approved. Just say I have a chronic condition and I have something to say, and you can even put in the message before you're approved to the admin why you're wanting to talk to the group, and just direct them. Not because this is where I always struggle. I don't just because it has Rex and Nell, that doesn't mean anything other than that just
It's just your username.
exactly.
it's just one.
You're just one person out of
yes,
or
exactly.
I should say two people out of the group.
Yep.
That
And it's
is having
where
that conversation.
Yeah.
It's where we're getting some really important momentum happening, and some of these groups have thousands of them.
Yeah. Some of them
Of
are
the exact same thing, like trigeminal neuralgia. That's a huge group.
yeah.
I think on Facebook there's quite a few like support groups that I'm in for all of the conditions that I have.
Yeah.
So lupus, I'm in quite a few of them because when I was diagnosed, I was like, I need
I need somebody.
And it's those people help pave the way for some of this, right? I mean, because if you didn't have.
So I know there's a bunch of them. I know too, and I'm just gonna bring this up to Rex. So like I have Sjogren's syndrome, which is a autoimmune disease that attacks like your eyes and your ears, like your endocrine glands, basically. And April is actually Sjogren's Awareness Month. And I was gonna go through because I know May is lupus. I know September is chronic pain, but I know that like once a month, like every month, there's multiple awarenesses. So, I wanted to look at that and say, okay, well, this is part of chronic pain. Just because
absolutely.
Not a chronic pain month doesn't mean that we can't talk about it.
It means we should talk about it.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly. But representing, it's not just one condition. It's chronic pain is what is caused from multiple millions of different types of
and there is so rarely one. There's so rarely one, because what happens is the body
become in threes.
Yeah, it's gonna affect one major system or another major, and then what happens? Even if it starts with an injury or a surgery like mine, it's now turned into its own disease because my brain is miscommunicating with my nerves and just constantly saying, there's something that there's an injury, and so I can't get out of the sleep now. That's its own disease now.
Mm.
And so a lot of people don't. But what you just said, I'd never heard of that.
Mm.
And you know, it'd be fun to do a collab with some artists in our group and make a calendar that people can, yes, give us gifts, or we could even sell it for a few bucks, because I love to do. Yes. And then wouldn't it be fun to, once a month, someone who is really needing help with affording their medications? Well, anything that we sell, part of that goes into a very, we're not touching it, a very open, where we're showing all receipts, and we choose someone that we want to help that month with some of their bills.
Yeah, kind of like a, yeah, absolutely. I think.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Well, for sure, it's it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
we've talked about some of the two basic options just as part of the um, conversation where money comes into play, where people can obviously go to the ACPA and they get their donations page, and then of course we have Nell's GoFundMe that we've had the success and momentum that we've got. But yeah, to your point, some people might not want to just dump their money at an ACPA. They might want to get creative like that, right? Where they,
Yeah, a lot of people want to
and
see
so
where
there's options.
exactly where their money is going. And
Yeah.
I
You
would
see all those all the time. Like I was seeing on TikTok of people taking their stimulus checks and just buying Starbucks cards and giving them out, or they were gathering money like they gave their PayPal out, and so like they were collecting money, and then they were gifting servers like during the pandemic, like people that are being impacted financially, So yeah, I think that's an amazing idea.
So I think I think that's a good idea. We keep in mind, we use the talents of the people in this group, which will mean so much more when we're buying someone who's suffering, something that makes them happy, makes them who they are. But if we can get a calendar going to where someone can immediately, they can look at it and they know, these are all the things and all the colors that are attached to it, whether it's
so many colors. Purple is a big one though.
I
was looking that up and I was like, oh, purple is attached to everything. Because I was going to go get like a magnetic sticker thing to put on my car, and I was like, oh well, the one for Lupas and Sjogren's. I'm like, I just need one because that represents Sjogren's and
everything.
that covers. It does. It covers so much. Well, like Ehlers Downloads that Courtney has, that's a zebra stripe.
Yep. And then there's bright green. Like there's bright green. I think that one is for mental health. I think that one's depression, but there is another one that's bright green. Which that makes sense to me because bright green is what that color is what combats that depression. So that totally makes sense to me. But wouldn't it be fun that we could immediately know what, and then we'll start to get to know each other and say, this person, oh, we're going to celebrate Misty, especially today, because this is what she, you know what I mean? That would be so awesome. And it would just help people feel so not alone. Like that is the biggest thing with all of this is like I've seen so many people comment on all the videos that Rex have posted, or like when we turn TikTok purple, or just in general, like that I've seen on my post, even after all of it. That's true. Is thank you for showing me that I'm not alone.
Yeah.
We might not physically know each other. We might physically never meet each other in person. Okay, us three, that might be different. I'm like, excuse me? Oh no, that will be happening. But we might not physically get to meet people. But they're not alone. Never. Like, ever. No, and I think that is one of the biggest impacts that this collaboration and this start has done, and I've had people reach out to me personally, just like thank, like they found me on Instagram and sent me a message and said thank you.
Well,
Thank you for being that voice. Thank you for being
yes.
that face. Thank you for starting this. You know what I mean? And Rex, I don't know if you've seen that on comments on your stuff, or Nell, like
I don't.
thank you for
I see it.
Well, I mean,
starting
Courtney,
that conversation.
I do see it.
I'm shocked that even though you could spend a reasonable amount of effort and still find some stuff out there, right? It's not like it's just like non-existent, but it is.
It takes some searching.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's not out there easily enough that to where people literally can spend some time searching and searching and searching and still not find what they're looking for. That's been surprising. I know that was with me. I mean, now it's kind of that things have changed and we're kind of connected and people are feeling relief, like you're saying that they're not alone and stuff. But just months ago, I mean, you were the first person that I met that I felt like we really connected in the chronic pain community.
Yeah.
And then,
and that's the hardest thing too, is finding those authentic people. There are tons of support groups out there, but how authentic are they?
Yeah.
They may not feel.
And
you're right.
They're private groups. A lot
Right,
of them.
and they're private groups. Like there's so many of them that I was in that I did have to get approval for.
Yep.
And answer the questions and find in D&D.
Or you can't join because you don't have that specific thing. Why? We're all.
Right, but how do they know that if it's a social media site?
That's true.
I don't know. I was just pressing join. I wasn't answering questions. I was just saying, yes, I agree to the rules.
Well, I told them, I said, because if they want to ask, the only thing that we should be, I can understand, I can understand, obviously we get excited when someone really has the same diagnosis. We get right down to you experience that same symptom, of course. But I love learning from all of you what you're going through. And every stinking week I am blown away at what you guys have gone through, what you struggle through, and how you get up every day. It's amazing.
And where do you live?
I'm in Wisconsin.
I obviously, when I was reading the specs of what Good Things Utah needed from me, they said that the that I had to bring a guest, right? And obviously, I'm thinking I would want to bring Nell, and she's not able to.
There's no way I can do that.
But damn, that'd be awesome if we could fly.
Dude, we got 5 days.
Yeah.
6 days.
I mean, I haven't talked to Nell. I don't want to put her on the spot, but I mean,
no.
We got.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, but
that's fine.
I mean,
I don't know even what.
So Good Things Utah.
I heard that's like last minute.
Yeah, Good Things Utah will let me bring one person, basically.
Yeah, you guys
and so I was just planning on going by myself, and if Nell's not gonna be coming, we'll have to talk about whether that's what's that?
Sorry, no, I'm just doing something.
I mean, what are your thoughts on that, Nell? Should I just go by myself, or should we?
So what I said twice is
we'll talk. Sorry.
Yeah, so Rick sometimes likes to have private conversations in public.
His OCD just like he's like, wait, I got this in my head. Let's not forget it. Yeah, that is it.
Well, I'll say this: if we can all get on the same page with that, great. If not, then you're at least going to be mentioned, right? I mean, so
yes, of course.
But yeah, let's talk about what we all want to do there, so that we're on the same page. It wasn't something. I mean, the main things was getting them some of the basic information. But
I want, because you were talking, you brought up a whole new thing that I didn't hear before.
Yeah, which was?
Tell us more about, what you go through with lupus, but then on top of what your body goes through daily.
Yeah.
What do you experience daily, would you say?
Every day is a journey. um, every day is
Like, do you know, is there like a baseline where you know, I know this is going to happen? Some other symptoms, they're going to pop in when they want, but I know I'll experience this at some point during the day.
fatigue.
Okay.
Fatigue is one of them. I um, usually I know my hitting point. Like last night, I had to work really late, and I hit my point about 5 o'clock. Now I had a super early morning, and it was end of month, and I'm in finance. It was a long week.
Yeah.
But fatigue is one of those for sure. Really, and being cold constantly. I'm always cold. I always have to have the heater going. I can't. With the lupus, my temperature doesn't really regulate itself very well. I can go from having a perfectly fine temperature to running a fever for no reason whatsoever.
But you need a hug from me, and I need a hug from you, because I'm constantly on fire.
All right, let's go, because I'm cold all the time.
Yeah, I could walk by somebody, and people have felt my heat if I walk by them. That's how hot.
So the same way, man.
It's like a room.
Oh, then that's awesome.
A room. It's like
what?
our rooms is like
on my own personal heater plus some.
Him and my youngest daughter are, I call them my little furnaces. So when I'm cold, I tell my daughter, I said, Clea, I need my backpack, and she'll come, and she'll be a little backpack on my back and warm me up. That's
who her granddaughter is, so I don't need to be warmed up. She's a hot body like me, and I'm like, oh, yeah, that's okay. Yeah. I'll sweat for you.
Yeah, but symptom-wise, there really isn't, like, every day's different. I really, the fatigue is probably the biggest one that I can guarantee is going to hit every day. But everything else, I can't. I'm constantly in pain. There's no way around that one. Sometimes the pain is more like, so with not just the lupus, but I have fibromyalgia, and a lot of the pain is in your legs. And so just standing up or walking or going up and down the stairs, like, it's funny, Nate tells me I'm like 80 years old and a 36-year-old body, because I'll like make it like 3 stairs up, and then I'm like, okay, I gotta stop. Because it's like, oh my gosh, I felt like I just ran a mile.
Yeah, Rex's mom suffers with that, and her legs, I think, are the worst.
It is awful. But other than that, and then I say I don't feel good all the time, and Nate's like, well, what doesn't feel good? I can't tell you what doesn't feel good, because I don't know. Everything just doesn't feel good.
But you know what I like is he asks it differently.
Yeah.
A lot of people are just like, or they don't even ask. But he obviously is taking some care in how. Well, let's try to get. And I like, with so many of us, we're on the same wavelength. We're always going, yes, yes, you get it, yes, yes. Like, there's sometimes where I'm like, Rex, don't even ask. You should know by my face.
Right. And I definitely get that way with Nate all the time. Like,
it's okay. That's another thing I'm tired of being ashamed of. We, of course, are going to be, the irritability is going to grow. That is such, imagine, look, let's just say, I'm going to say this. I would, before I got,
hold on,
folks. Hold on to your.
She just rolled up her sleeves. She done roll up her sleeves, guys.
Okay, while I was still healthy, okay, my family loves going camping. Like, my whole family, I have 8 siblings, and We all try to coordinate. We have a favorite place in Utah where we go. I haven't been for a while because my body can't handle until I have a push RV or trailer. It's not happening anymore. But I remember thinking discomfort was it's cold in the middle of the night, or discomfort was, and it is, but that's cookies now. I'm like, I would eat that up, you know what I mean? Like, so we're naturally going to become irritable, and then we're going to feel immediate, and I mean immediate guilt right after.
Yes.
Immediate.
Yes.
Especially because they're the ones that are fighting with us. So yeah, we'll take care of it. We'll eat ourselves alive. Don't worry.
It's so funny because they will be like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, "Nothing." "What's wrong?" "Nothing." "What's wrong?" I said, I'm like, "You know what's wrong."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Back off, man."
Why are you asking? How many times have I done this week?
Right.
But then he's probably thinking, well, what if I don't ask him in trouble?
Yeah.
It is kind of hard for him, you know?
Exit room.
Exit room.
Left. Exit stage left.
Yeah, I have seen Rex not even turn his body, and he just shuffles his way out and just closes the door real slow. That's the humor of all this. I love talking about the reality because it's good to laugh at all of the, you know what I mean? Like, oh, poor guys.
No, it is nice to have the conversations and have the true, authentic conversations.
Yeah, exactly.
It is not all sunshine and rainbows.
No, it isn't.
I might be like, and when it comes to TikToks too, like that's why I try to do the raw videos, is because I might have a smile on my face, my makeup might look good, my hair might look good, I might be wearing a cute outfit. But
an hour from now.
it's not all sunshine and rainbows.
Oh no.
Not even an hour from
finish
now.
that 30-second video.
Yeah.
Guess what? My hair's going up, the makeup's coming off, I'm putting
Oh
my pajamas on, and my butt's going to bed.
Yep.
You know, I say that I call that everybody has a behind the scenes life. That's not there's a difference between that and being a hypocrite or um, being caught up in appearances and trying to kind of be deceptive with something. Um, you know, everybody has a behind the scenes life, and I think that it's healthy showing and talking about a certain degree of that, but while at the same time we all have our privacy, right? And there's things that are just going to be just between a couple or even with yourself or whatever, and that's also appropriate. So I think the main thing to know and you see people of all sorts of positive influence constantly saying that message that guys, don't compare your life with the best that's being put out there, and then go and sit there and look at that for 2 hours and then turn off your media and then you're looking at some of the times where you're struggling the most and think that's just the reality. You don't see their behind the scenes, and it's pretty cliche because it kind of seems like it goes without saying, but I don't know. It's just one of those things about human nature. We talk about these things that kind of trip us up with where we, gravitate to health and and pleasure, and we kind of seem to stay clear of that which is unhealthy and unpleasant, and how that could get us into trouble. Well, it's the same thing with this, is that we know better, but we just easily fall into that and can easily just believe things when we really know deep down aren't true, and then that's obviously going to help us. I mean, that's going to influence how we feel about ourselves or how we feel about our relationships or whatever.
It is one of the most complicated. I have being being in a state of whether it's whatever you want to call it, a condition, a disease, the just a chronic state, okay? It's one of the most difficult places a human being can be
Oh yeah,
because
100%.
every single day is different. There are emotions and thought processes and information and that we I'm shocked that I still am learning about myself after having this for so many years. And I'm sure
Mm.
you are the same, Misty. And then we have to it's not we have to be so careful with every single relationship. And the ones that are hanging on with us, we're putting our all into because they damn well deserve it, number one. And but it's not we don't have enough answers to say, or we have the answer to say, this will be with me the rest of my life. So but we don't have enough answers to say, this is what it's going to look like in an hour or tomorrow or in a month. We can't plan like the saying that life is what happens as we plan.
Yeah.
That nothing could be closer to the truth when it comes to chronic conditions.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Doesn't go as
There's
planned.
no,
Right? There's no plan.
Nothing
yeah.
goes to plan
Mm.
ever.
But what we do learn, we become one of the most resilient humans. You have to.
Oh
You
yeah,
have to.
absolutely.
And so that's why every single time I think you guys are with you guys, it's an immediate boost because I know I'm with some of the absolute strongest human beings on this earth. Because it's just you have no other choice. You do have a choice, but we're gonna do our damnedest to make sure people don't choose the other choice, right? And but
Absolutely.
still, even the ones that let's say have taken their life, there is not they deserve honor and respect and
Mercy,
oh my word.
grace.
It's not even they don't even I don't even think that.
I don't even. That's
think
the wrong
that.
word. Mercy. Great.
No,
Great.
they don't need forgiveness, they don't need grace, they don't need because we know enough about how hard it is.
Compassion. Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever.
It's just not even a question. They just are, to me, completely honored, completely loved. And I just pray that I just know that Rex, if I could share about your grandma, Rex,
Of course.
she had some physical things going on, but when her husband died, and Rex and I had the great privilege of living with her when we were young, just
Starting
not
out.
yeah, starting our family, and I was pregnant with our first baby, and so we got to live with his grandma and his grandma's sister, and it was so precious for so many reasons. They were hilarious. They were so giving. They could not be more excited about the birth of our little Ellie coming. I would buy her little gifts, but we lived with her not long after her sweet husband passed, and they had been together for many many years. Well, how many years would you say your grandparents were married?
50 something, more than that.
Yeah, I think 60 even. But one night we walked in and she was just sobbing, watching. She had a videotape in, and she was just rubbing his face on the TV and just sobbing. And so it wasn't too many months after we had moved out, and sometimes she would just need a hug just from Rex because she explained to him, I just need to feel a hug from just from a guy. So it was the closest thing to her husband. And she would just hang on to Rex. And so we moved on and had Ellen, and it wasn't too long that she took her own life. And she had some physical things going on, but it wasn't anything that couldn't be. It was that her heart was just shattered. Now, different people had different beliefs about where she was headed, if she was in trouble or not with God, and I just was like, are you kidding me? She was an angel on earth. She's an angel still. And while I know if there's any turmoil, why do I say it like that?
Mhm.
It's, I believe, it's just within themselves. That's not some judgment that God's eager to put on them and be like, clearly they are not themselves. Anyone that that goes that far is clearly not themselves at the moment.
Absolutely.
So no judgment here. I just pray that they are full of peace and know that we're gonna pick ourselves back up and that we are gonna live harder, and in that way we can honor them.
Absolutely.
We got a love slap going on, guys.
Yeah, we're getting a love slap.
All right.
Someone let me know what user's doing
Oh,
that.
thank you,
I'm seeing
whoever.
Riker, but
Thank
Yeah,
you
trying
so
to figure
much.
you'll have to Misty, maybe we can find that and make sure I'm following them.
Yeah.
Well, that's sweet of them
I
to do
can
that.
look. She's the one. So continue to tell us more about what lupus. You got the fibro, you've got the lupus, and I can't even remember the name again of the other.
Sjogren's.
Sjogren's.
Yeah, so it's SJR. Wait, hold on. I gotta write it out to spell it right.
Yeah, I hear ya.
So it's SJOGRENS. So it's Sjogren's.
Oh, okay.
So that's an autoimmune that attacks your eyes, your endocrine glands. I also have what's called Hashimoto's.
Oh,
Yes.
At Riker tested.
Riker. Give her some love, you guys. Go follow Riker.
Thank you so
Testnik.
much.
And thank you for the gifts, and for those that
Love right back at you.
follow Marmalane 3613. Follow these guys. Give them some love for spending some time doing this.
Awesome.
Thanks, you guys.
Amazing. Aww. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And while you're in here, other than just a love slap, whoever led it. Oh, Riker, there we go. Yeah, Riker. Oh, yeah, Riker. I'm following you, my friend. I know who you are, girl. You're one of John Collins' girls.
She's like,
yeah.
you better check yourself real quick, but I'm gonna give you another slap.
Yeah, I like her. I'm like, who's setting things her way? I'm like, oh, I know her. Oh, thank you, my friend.
Thank you so much. I went and followed her too.
I'm about to. I'm a coming.
She's awesome.
That's so awesome.
And you're welcome to join part of the conversation here, or just stay tuned.
Yeah.
Love Slap is awesome, but it's even better making some new friends. So.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. So I also have what's called Hashimoto's. So Hashimoto's is another autoimmune disease that is your thyroid.
Yeah.
So all of this wonderful life cards that were given to me, we'll call them life cards, started out with hypothyroidism when I was 25. I just had my son and just was so tired and felt like something was wrong. Went to the doctor and he was like, well, your thyroid's kind of a little low. We'll put you on some levothyroxine. And then it was all downhill from there is what I felt like. So I have Hashimoto's, I have Sjogren's, I have lupus, I have fibromyalgia, I have restless leg syndrome, I have chronic migraines, the Raynaud's. I also have what's called neurogenic cardiac syncope. I always have to think about that when I say it because it's so long.
Wow.
Basically, my brain don't talk. So
Oh, yeah, I
all of
remember.
a sudden, my heart rate will skyrocket through the roof. For no reason. I could literally be sitting here and all of a sudden my heart rate jumps to like 120.
Oh, jeez.
And it's because my brain all of a sudden thinks I'm running a marathon and I'm not. I wish I was running a marathon, maybe. But, so I have to deal with that. So it's a lot of dizziness and just all of a sudden out of nowhere, it's like, whoa, hold on a minute, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, and then, of course, like, that also comes with, you know, the mental disorder. So I was diagnosed with depression, anxiety, and I also have bipolar 2 disorder, which is essentially bipolar, but it's not as severe. So my highs and lows, like my high is I stay up for 42 hours and clean my house.
Okay.
I'm not going out and doing, you know, the crazy things that you hear, you know, people can do on a high with bipolar.
I love that you bring that up because we will be touching on. There's all types of suffering. We brought this up to you guys quite often, but we will be bringing in, you know, we want mental awareness. How that can be coupled with physical, or if you just are somebody that you're suffering with mental, or if you're just suffering with a situational thing. But I love it's a great thing that you just did because you could have left that out.
Yeah, exactly, Misty.
And I love that you said it doesn't always look the same.
Yeah.
When you're getting that high.
You know, Misty's, like you're saying, is you know, someone that could be an advocate for both areas. I know Stephanie Brown is a very gracious example of how to live life with bipolar. And I was just gonna say, and he just poked up his head. So there you are, and Antonia's voices.
Butterfly, Christine, she said, I'm also bipolar manic depression, severe anxiety.
Yep.
So much love and respect.
In the beginning of 2020, I was considered severely depressed and had severe anxiety. Like, it was unreal. And I worked really, really hard. And it's still, even to this day, it's unreal how hard it is to not let it overtake your thoughts. I think one of the biggest things that I've had to learn is redirecting those thoughts. When you hit those lows and those depression, like, we're human. So even regardless, you know, take the chronic pain or anything out of it, we're still human. Things happen in our lives and it's like, wow, that really sucks. And we just have a bad day. But instead of letting that bad day truly take you down, it's, okay, you know what? That really sucked.
Yeah.
But you know what?
For me it is. It wasn't fun.
And not overreact to it. That's sometimes,
Right, because if you play into it, the more you dedicate on that negative thought, the bigger it gets.
Yeah.
So if you can recognize it and go, yeah, that really sucked. I wish that didn't happen. Or, you know, that really kind of screwed my day up. And say, okay, well, you know what? Yeah, that sucks. But what can I change so that it doesn't suck so much next time?
That's
if
so
there is a
perfect.
next time.
So you're not giving it life. You're like, okay, it happened.
You're recognizing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You recognize that it's
you happened.
I'm like, you happened, that's it.
You happened.
You happened.
And now I'm gonna.
That's a way of saying I'm not gonna own it, right?
Just say you happened, and now I'm gonna happen. So there we are. Bye.
Right. and and I'll be completely honest. I let the negativity
headphones, I think, somehow.
Rule my life for so long. Like when I say 2020 was the hardest year of my life, it was also the best year of my life, because I recognized a lot of things that on the mental side that I think has also helped me get to the place that I am today, being able to share my story and to use my story for support and encouragement, and recognizing, I did focus so much on the negativity that I turned into negativity. Believe it or not.
Yeah.
I know that's hard to believe, but I really truly was that toxic person.
Yeah.
Come on, you guys. Yeah, I mean, don't be too hard on yourself. I say that to Nell too.
He was staring at me. He was staring me down when he did that.
Can you guys still hear me? I had some beeping.
I can hear you.
What about on the phone?
Oh.
On the phone?
On the live, you mean?
Yeah, and Antonio's voices, guys, go give him some love. He's actually another huge example as we tie in the emotional and mental stuff. Go check out his stuff. But can somebody give me?
I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Turned on the volume.
Yeah, I just followed you, Antonio.
Oh, Antonio was amazing. He was
Butterfly Christine, you too.
Antonio was one of the ones that was in the collaboration video, and he was in the Zoom, and he was one of the there was a handful of people we didn't get to. And Antonio, you'll have to, I don't want to put you too much on the spot, brother, but rex.nil@gmail is .com is our email of people that want to kind of be considered as a guest, and you kind of I would love to have you, man. So
again, please reach out to rex.nell@gmail.
Yeah,
if you would like to be a guest, like you're seeing Misty here, because we want to hear what you experience day in and day out, and how you view what your specific trials and triumphs are. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah,
absolutely love it.
And I think I feel a little biased with some of the people that we've initially connected with pretty easily, because the success and the grace that you have in talking about these various conditions and doing it in a way that really just puts stigma on its face, right? I mean, there's so much class and so much style, stigma and so much grace.
And isolation.
I mean, you go and check out Antonio's Voices posts,
following you,
and the guy is just incredible, right? He's just a powerhouse, and he's just unapologetic about what God has given him, and he recognizes he's just beyond. He's ahead of his time, and we need people like that as allies, especially as we get into an area that, for whatever reason, has more stigma, and it doesn't. And, that's just the way that it is. It shouldn't be that way. But it's just the way that it is. And so as we kind of go further and further into that being some of the topic, we'd love to have you, man. So send an email to me at rex.nell@gmail as those come in, because the initial folks, guests that we started out with, we've got about 3 more that's for sure going to be on the docket. But as numbers come in, we want to have a way to make sure that we're considering it. So be sure to send me an email there, and I'll watch that. But we would love to have you. So thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
that'll be awesome. Okay, so
continue on.
Go ahead. Sorry,
yeah. You're good. Rex, you said not to be so hard on ourselves.
Yeah, that's what we're saying, both of you.
We are our biggest critic, but we are also our biggest cheerleader. And if we can recognize our shortcomings, then we can learn from them, and we can build on them, and we can be better. My biggest thing that I tell myself every single day is the best version of me is yet to come. I am not.
I love it.
I love that.
I am better today than I was yesterday. I am better today than I am 5 years ago.
Because we do have we have new versions of ourselves, don't we?
Yes, but however, the very best version of me will never be met. because even
Because
on my
you'll never
deathbed,
stop. Yeah. It's never going to stop.
become the best version of yourself. You continue to become the better version of you every single day as you learn, as you go through trials, as you understand more about yourself and learn to love yourself, or just life in general. As you navigate life, you become a better person every single day. So the very best version of myself will never be met.
In this life, at least, maybe.
Well,
in this life.
yeah.
Yes. But that's the way that I had to look at it. That's the way that in order for me to flip my life around, it was I had to take ownership and accountability for my shortcomings and go, hey, you know what? I am being that toxic person. You might not see it all the time, but I am being that toxic person. What can I do to change that? And I worked really, 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 really hard. I continue to work really, really, really hard. And that's when I decided to take control of my life, is the day that I felt that calling that I needed to use my story to help somebody.
That's amazing.
And look at where we are.
Yeah. And I'm so excited to think of, anyone with that mindset that is just, number one, not going to give up. Number two, they're going to continue to have faith and hope that I'm being refined constantly. Just imagine what you're going to be in 10 years when you're this magnificent already.
Oh, you're very sweet.
You are.
But it changed my mindset because, like, when I said at the beginning, like, I didn't know where to begin. I didn't know how to start. I looked at myself and said, I'm a nobody. Am I really going to make a difference?
Well, that was the biggest lie you ever told yourself.
Yes. I don't know how I'm going to do this, but turn TikTok purple on March 4th. Rex couldn't have been done without you. These conversations that we're having right now.
Yeah.
The continued conversations that we've had since then, and not just, amongst, the group that we've brought together so far, but just outside of the group.
Yeah, like, the trickling effect that people, they take that with them. It's not just within this forum. It's their life.
Right. And you can take that and you can apply it to every part of your life. You can apply it to your personal home life. You can apply it to your personal and professional life. You can apply it to your social media life. You can apply it to, the everyday life that we have.
Yeah.
And really that it's all about the mindset. I'm still human. I have my downfalls. I'm in a lot of pain today, so you know what? I'm going to feel bad about it, but it's another day. I've made through it before. I'll make through it again. What can I do to make today better? It's all about the mindset. It's really what it comes down to.
That is exactly and I hope soon I'll be able to start my artwork more, because that's my happiest place. But for some
I
of you,
I had my.
Huh?
I might have to step away for 2 seconds to grab my. There's actually a picture. So you said artwork, and it jogged my brain.
Yeah.
So, this girl could not draw more than a stick figure ever. And then last April or May, so right when I really started feeling the calling, I felt like I needed, like my daughter asked me to draw a lily. So I drew one. Now, mind you, couldn't draw a freaking stick figure. And I drew this lily, and I was like, holy crap, how did that just happen? So it was amazing.
That's awesome.
So then I was like, you know what? I'm going to try again. And I had this picture that kept flashing in my head.
Yeah.
And it was a girl with her heart, like, broken, like the black, like a dark, hardened heart.
Yeah.
And then God's hand reaching down.
I love
and
it.
those dark, hardened pieces falling off. Like, I kept getting this vision in my head, and I'm like, man, I can draw a stick figure. That's not going to be very pretty. Well,
you can
let's
surprise.
Just say
you can surprise yourself.
I swear it was God that gave me this gift so specifically I could draw this picture. So talk amongst yourselves for a few minutes. I am going to find that picture so I can show it. So give me one second.
Yeah, please do. Yeah, so some of you that are coming in that maybe don't know. So I love artwork, but because of all places my tumors could hit, I got 3 lacrimal gland tumors, which is obviously, our lacrimal gland is right next to our eye, and it is responsible for all moisture. So I only have a little tiny bit of that left, and if that goes, my eye goes. So, and my eye, that's so much of the time where some incredibly intense pain originates. Can't be touched anywhere around my eye. But that's what I mean by, when I say I really hope I get back into art, because I love very, very detailed, and I love starting artwork with a very, very basic idea, but not really knowing where I'm headed. Rex he keeps motioning at me to have you.
While Misty's bringing that, I want to show off Nell's artwork a little bit. Alexandra Bastian, I think is her name, guys, is one of our friends, and she's an amazing artist that we've been in contact with, and she just saw this art piece that Nell did and was just really taken back by it, but trying to just show that to you without the glare. Well, Misty's...
You'd have to get up close to see the detail.
But you can see, you guys can see.
So the bird represents Christ, and it says Hin ani, which means here am I, send me. And obviously she's releasing and there's just a whole lot of meaning in it. The willow tree.
That's so beautiful.
And in the willow tree there's words of affirmation. In the leaves anyway, it meant a lot to me. Started with a very basic idea. 50 hours later, this is what. But that's what I mean by, hopefully I can get back to that. We'll see what the doctors say and what my next MRI shows and all that. But yeah, I'd love to.
Yeah, she's pretty incredible. I mean, this is just one of the art pieces that she's done. She's an art student, so she's been in school officially and formally with art and got a certificate. So it's not just the talent, and she'll be modest about it, but when she was in high school, she did some pieces that were sold, and one of them,
my pottery.
her pottery, and she got a scholarship, and the high school actually put one of her pieces, this really big tile kind of a piece mural on the wall, and so what a blessing to be able to kind of pause for a minute and just kind of talk about the art and
you can
beauty of it.
Kind of imagine, for me, because my world is surrounded by art, that's where I receive my happiness from. So the panic that I received for many years, knowing, okay, out of all the places in my body, I get a tumor there.
Yeah.
And then it returns 2 times, where that's rare that happens, and it can be, and I don't have like I just said, I don't
Yeah.
have enough lacrimal gland for them to take out
Yeah, the irony,
another
right? That made you feel...
tumor. And without lacrimal gland, I don't have an eye. But I told Rex. So here's something to think about, and I want your opinion.
A little tangent.
If they do have to take my eye, I know I'm going off a little tangent here.
He's got some ideas
But if
of
they
what
do
to do
have
for
to take
that.
my eye, I'm kind of thinking, I don't want to just do an eye patch. I'd love it to look kind of robotic
No,
on
you're
just
not
one
going to
side.
do a damn plate or something.
Well,
for
is it,
that.
I'm pretty sure I'm
Hey,
a
people
human.
get their eye removed, and
Yeah.
I had a friend who didn't have an eye, and I didn't even know he didn't have an eye. Just saying.
Well, they can't do that for me because the lacrimal gland, they can't even put a prosthetic one in. So,
No? Okay.
because there's no moisture, there won't be any moisture.
Gotcha.
But Rex is trying to tell me I can't be like part robot. I'll decide.
Some rustic metal.
Listen,
I think it would be so.
she's already Wonder Woman if she wants to put robot parts in her
Yeah,
letter.
I mean, you know,
Thank
it's just a
you,
different
Misty.
dimension of a beautiful badass. I mean, I'll
There you go.
throw in some
See?
Harley with it. Grow up my beard a little bit, and
Just
Yes.
let me be part Iron Man. Leave me alone.
Yes. I love it. Let's do it.
But show
Alright,
me your
I found-
art. I can't wait to see it.
Okay, so I'll show you. First, I'll start the lily.
Yes.
So this is the lily that literally started it all.
So this
I'm
was your first
hoping-
attempt, right?
Yeah. So
Where is it?
can you? Oh, hold on. Let me take this background off because this is what's doing it. So give me a second.
That's what I thought.
How do I do this? How do I take the background off? Nope, that's not what I want. Hold on. Give me a minute.
You're fine.
Rex,
Um,
help.
Rex,
Should-
what do I
you'll be able to, if you click, like on your profile
Oh, wait. Here.
area, there should be kind of a backdrop, and you can select and like clear it or something.
Oh, that's not what I wanted to do.
So that
Start video. I didn't want to turn it off.
but there should be able to be like a try doing a right click and then hit edit profile pic or rename. Is there any right click option that it gives you?
No.
Nope.
See, why do they gotta make these things complicated?
Why?
Stop
Oh, wait.
video.
Maybe.
Okay. On your video, click the little
Yeah.
drop down arrow to the right of your video. So you're not stopping your video, but you're clicking the drop down, and when you click the drop down, there's a choose virtual background.
Wait, say that again.
So you know how there's the mute microphone,
Oh, there it is.
and then
Found
there's
it.
this.
Yay! Okay, now you just get to see the mess behind me.
There you
So
go.
sorry.
Yeah, just a little troubleshooting is all.
All right. Okay, so let's try this again. All right, so this is
Oh, check it out.
the tiger lily that my daughter asked me to draw. That's why it's on lined paper. Like, so this was the beginning of it all.
That is
beautiful.
pretty impressive, woman.
The fact that it went from a stick figure to that,
Yeah.
I was impressed.
Way.
So this is the image that I had in my head.
Oh my gosh.
That's so beautiful.
So just
Oh.
like the hard, hardened heart,
Yeah.
Oh my
and
God.
just like
I
This
love
would
how
be-
you're, even though it says a lot that it's, even with it hardened, you're gripping it so
Yeah.
tightly. Like I'm like, I need to trust you with this,
Yeah.
Wow.
no matter
Yeah.
what state it's in.
Oh, that's pretty
Yeah.
powerful.
That says a lot. You jumped from stick figure. You did a big leap there.
when this came out, I went, I got it.
Loud and clear.
It was like, all right, I
Yeah.
got your message.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and I truly believe that this was literally him giving me this gift to be able to, So I have another one I have another image that has been popping in my head that I needed to take the time to sit down and do it. But you know that part of the Bible where the angel, like the devil's like throwing like the fire dart, like the fire arrows?
Yep.
Basically.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the angel that's protecting, right?
Angel
you have the big
Moroni?
angel with the
Am I
big
getting the right
angel
angel?
wings.
I just got the wrong angel, sorry.
Wrong book.
Rex looks at me and goes, no. Wrong
I
book.
missed that part. But the part that I have is it's the
Cut
angel
that.
standing. You two crack me up.
Is it the angel standing on the wall?
No, Angel Moroni is on top of the temple.
Oh, yeah. I forgot. I'm in the wrong religion
shoot.
right now.
Good.
Sorry,
All
Misty. Sorry.
Go
All
ahead.
good.
Okay.
True, authentic, like selves here.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah.
So it's, the big angel. So like the angel, the big wings standing behind me, and then a person like just down on their knees, and then God or Jesus holding this giant shield.
Oh,
that's awesome.
And so the angel wings are kind of coming up and over. So
yes.
you have the top and the sides, but then you have God in front of you.
You're
that's blocking
fully
it.
protected.
Like you're fully protected around.
Yeah.
And then of course like the fire arrows.
Yeah.
And the devil and the demons trying and just not getting there. So
That's
amazing.
we're gonna work out that
amazing.
one. But yeah, it's definitely a big jump from a stick figure.
That's
to,
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and it just
And
goes
I will
to
not
show, like,
try next time to pretend like I know what I'm talking about.
Mel was talking about, what Tayton helped her just, there's no waiting, right? You get in there and you can apply that principle to all sorts of things. You don't have to feel like, oh, well, if I try to take myself seriously to try to do my best in making some kind of art piece, who am I? I'm not really an artist. No, I mean, what can I do, right?
Right.
And it's a discovery process for your own self. I mean, we're so complicated, eternal. Part of us is internal. Part of us is, temporary here, and we come from God, and there's so much to learn and discover about our own selves. Nell was talking about that, how she's still learning about herself and her own, development.
Well, and remember I talked to you guys about when I was high.
Shoot, that's a.
I should have started
Leave it to Nell
bit.
for that tie-in.
Well,
I'm not talking about that space and time, dear. I'm talking about.
I love it.
Okay, yes, you were saying what's the tie-in to that?
There might be new people too, so I apologize.
No, it's okay.
Listen,
carry out the that
so
thought.
the medical marijuana. Okay, there's that. I've been approved. So they gave me the highest dose of THC because they knew we got to hit this pain because THC is what deals with the pain better.
It's it. Yeah.
So, do you remember me talking about? So that was way too much for my brain, y'all. That I was on 8 to 10 hour, not in this world, certainly not. But it taught me. First of all, it scared the life out of me. I really thought my body wouldn't make it through. There's a lot of physiological. It's scary. It's not all fun and games, but the parts that are. It's weird to say that there's parts that were stunning, beautiful. There are parts that were hilarious. There are parts that were terrifying.
Yeah.
I had everybody in the store
dying of laughter because I was like, well, listen, I talked to God, I can tell you that. And the one guy just he lost it so hard, he had to go back into the back room, finish laughing, compose himself, come back out. I was like, listen, I'm just telling you how it was. But what it taught me...
Burning bush or anything? Or what were we talking
No, not even a bush. It was just him.
Oh.
Oh, that's funny.
Him and the person.
What it taught me was we use such a sliver of our brain's capabilities. Yeah. And that's not to mention when you couple it with your soul and your drive and your faith and your hope. That did. And I was talking to my dad about it. I was like, Dad, all I know is this universe is bigger than we think. As I sat cross-legged, like in the middle of the universe, I was watching all the different planets circle me, and I'm like, and I literally told Rex, this is way bigger than they taught us. Yeah. Then I fried my face on his stomach because I was an egg and he was the pan, and my kids, they're all adults, but they've got video, and they could really damage me if they wanted to hold that over me.
I have a request.
Yeah.
That when we are in person, I need to see said video.
You need to see. What she got was a whole different one, and I was like, I watched it, and all I could say was, wow. I'm just going to say, Mother of the Year is what I'm going to say. Because, like, the way I was talking to them, I could not believe it. I was like, I'm so sorry. I couldn't apologize more. And they were like, oh, that was the funniest thing we've ever.
I need to see said video.
Yeah, she just showed it to her boyfriend the other day. So I'm like, listen, I said I was sorry. I wasn't there.
It happens. It's all good.
So,
they've adjusted.
Watch the THC.
They've adjusted. Yeah, that's
Lesson
so
learned.
true. Do not just act like you are too. You're too big for that THC. You need to.
Get the
balance. And I thought I took a safe dose, but no.
Hey, when you're not used to it, it doesn't matter what it is.
That's true. It was my very first. I can't imagine if I had just filled the vial.
All legal drugs too, Rex, by the way.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Rex was a complete cartoon character. He was only a black outline for I don't know how long. And then when he was holding me up, I like to imagine it was just a hug, but he was truly holding my body up. And I started feeling his arms, and I'm like, you are real. Because forever, he was a cartoon.
You are a real person.
Like, whoa. There's more than it was, and when I laid on the bed, I was positive that me and the bed did a full 360 together. And I just went, whoa, that was awesome. And my daughters were like, no, this is awesome.
That's hilarious.
So
yeah,
you
it
guys,
was pretty potent, that's for sure, brother.
Anybody that's trying to get on medical marijuana, there's so many positives. Just take it slow, please.
Be careful. The idea is to not have a party
that lasts for hours and hours.
Floating in the universe, having a personal convo with God.
I never stop saying time and space. Time and space.
Time and space.
Yeah.
Love it.
But we are complex, that's for sure. Especially
we are
when we
fun,
get
awesome group, that's for sure.
Yeah. If I mentioned hey Ellen, Misty wants to see that video. Oh, she'd show up in a half an hour. Here you are. And she's got it I was so surprised the other day when it didn't take her long to pull it up. And it happened, a year ago? Almost a year ago.
I need
so I was
to
like,
see that.
oh, that's nice.
That is like
yeah, well,
a new life dream.
I know.
It's the bucket list.
Yeah.
It's on the bucket list.
We're one of those families, though, that gets so much enjoyment. Like, I have a book where, I think I said this last time, if we say things wrong, we get so much enjoyment out of making fun of each other and just laughing.
Us too.
Yeah. It's so, I laughter
Us
is
too,
just...
and my kids are only 8, 10, and 13, so could you imagine the conversations that are happening right about now?
Oh,
Yeah.
I love it. Yep. We've been
It's
there.
a fun group.
We've been there.
Oh, the changes.
Oh, you're a busy mama.
Yes, it's fun.
So
How-
they,
But
so
I wouldn't
they're,
change it for the world.
How old are they?
yeah, I was just trying to do the math between them.
Yeah, so Kenzie is 13, Austin is 10, he'll be 11 in June,
Yeah.
and then Aaliyah is 8. So
So
they're all about 2.5 years apart.
that was ours, 2.5 to 3 years.
Candy, Austin,
between
and
the three.
Clea?
Kenzie.
That's awesome.
Kenzie.
Austin
Kenzie.
Austin and
Austin and Clea.
Mackenzie. It's,
Oh, okay.
It's
Oh.
Mackenzie, but she
Likes Kenzie.
Kenzie.
But
Yeah, you know.
boy or
thanks.
girl, boy, girl. That's what we have.
Girl, boy, girl. Yep.
And they're all
Yep.
the same distance apart
Yep.
as your kids.
They're all about 2.5 years apart. Yep.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, the girls are actually, so the girls' birthdays are in November, and they're 3 days apart. So,
Oh, that's
like, birthday-wise,
Is
like, they're
that
5 years apart, but birthday-wise, yeah.
do they
So.
like that, or is that hard sometimes?
So when they were little, they didn't mind it.
Yeah.
But I also understood because my sister and I are 3 years and 1 day apart.
Oh
so-
wow.
My birthday's January 11th, hers is January 12th.
Yeah.
So when we were younger, it was fine. But as we started getting older, because I was the oldest one, like, she still wanted to do the, you know, the little parties. And I'm like, dude, I just want to go to the movies with my
Yeah.
friends. Like,
Yeah.
you know, so
Yeah.
we are starting to get to that age where
Yep.
it's, you know, Kalia's 8, she'll be 9, Mackenzie's 13, she'll be 14. So it's kind of like at that age where it's like,
Yeah, at those ages, that gap seems a lot bigger.
Yeah.
yes,
Because they
a lot
change so
bigger.
fast.
Yeah, yeah. But Kenzie's wonderful with like her little brother and sister. She has at her dad's house, she has a younger brother and sister there too. So she's one of 5, and
Oh,
so
wow. That's
she does very well with them. So yeah.
cool.
Do you remember we were talking to Courtney and we met her little boys, sweet
Mhm.
boys?
Yeah.
I'd say the same. And you guys were able to kind of see all of our kids. The children that are born into these situations, or these situations arise as they're growing up, they're given some very valuable life lessons early on.
Yes,
And they
very much.
become incredible adults. So I cannot wait for you to continue to see how they grow.
Yeah.
They truly are, like, you know, people always ask, like, well, how does that affect your kids? And, like, do they understand?
Mm-hmm.
I've been sick for 10 years. This is
Yeah.
all my kids know.
Yep.
You know, Kenzie doesn't remember before when I wasn't sick. She was too little.
Mm-hmm.
So they truly are wonderful. Like, and especially now, because as they're getting older, they understand it a little bit more. They can do a little bit more digging. They can get more information. But they truly take care of me. And if they know, like, if mom says, hey, you know what, tonight's just a rough night,
Yeah.
you know, they all
Oh.
understand, and it's not, oh, mom's ignoring us, or mom doesn't want to
No.
be around us.
Yeah.
It's,
Taking
hey,
it
you know what,
personal. or
mom,
something.
let's, you're not feeling well, you need to lay down. Let's have
Yeah.
a movie night in bed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they truly are amazing.
And they will
So.
continue to become
Yes.
even more so protectors of you, especially
Oh, yes.
when they're adults and they see other adults. Because and
Yeah.
what I love is my kids can take one look at me and know exactly what's going on. almost exactly what's going on, where other people, I can fool them all day long if I need to. But they 100%. Will be like, no, I'm not asking you to sit down. I'm telling you.
Yep.
You know, and so they're just angels. They're angels.
They truly are an amazing group of kids. And it's funny that, you know, besides the fact that I'm completely biased with my kids because they're my kids, but I have other people that compliment, like, wow, your kids are so well behaved, because they know, like, we have to be quiet because mom's sleeping, or we have to, like, there's a different mentality, I think, in them because they've had to see more than what other kids would have seen. They're very empathetic to other kids. Like, that is the one thing I've noticed with Kalia especially is, you know, she's very empathetic. So if she sees somebody struggling, she doesn't care who they are, how big they are. It could be an 80-year-old, you know, grandma, grandpa, or it could be a 1-year-old little baby. She's there. She's helping. She's, you know.
Yep.
She's very empathetic and very in tune to what's going on. And she is the smallest, most petite little thing. But, man, she's a little lioness. Let's just say that. Because I said I was a lion earlier, so she's my little lioness.
She's in training.
She will be there and will fight. Like, she's ready to stand up, and she has zero filter when she comes out and says, you're not being nice, so why are you being like that? Like, she doesn't care who it is. Like, this girl will straight up, like, that's not how you treat somebody.
Yeah.
But then she's very good with backing it up with, you should be treating people like that because that's not kind.
Yeah, she's not. She gives the reasons.
They're doing this doesn't mean that you need to treat them meanly.
Yeah.
And she's very big on protecting and, you know, all of that. So, yeah, I think it's a different mentality for them because they've seen so much more.
They've had to adapt to it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
Yeah, it's really true. It's that way with our kids too. And
she's a lioness in training.
She's a lioness in training.
She is.
Yes.
When you see them go and grasp the world with their specific upbringing and the gifts that you have brought to them, just seeing all my kids in adult stages and how incredible how they already, because they're still young adults, but they're already giving back, and there's nothing more beautiful, I don't think, than knowing that
it really is amazing.
Yep. So we are all truly blessed, huh? To have our families, to have each other.
Absolutely.
And we're just, the blessings are flooding in, you guys. They really are.
Yeah.
And many of them are simply you guys. Period.
And this journey and this conversation that we're starting is just the beginning.
I love it.
It's just the beginning.
True.
I love it.
True.
I can't wait to. Hopefully, we can meet your kids and stuff. So, well, we will.
Yeah.
We will.
Oh yeah. Eventually, we will get all the families together, and we will just have one big party.
What do you guys say in the chat? What do you guys say in the chat? Like a big meetup I
be
kind of
amazing.
have next year in mind because I don't trust this year yet.
Not quite. Yeah.
I don't either.
But like, wouldn't that be fun to have just kind of
It
a
would be.
center,
Yeah.
you know, center spot,
Yeah, where
or
people
just
can
like
drive.
Cali, just let's all go to the beach. But like,
Yes.
such a fun, relaxing meetup.
Yeah.
Where there's no expectations. There's not going to be this list of here's the itinerary. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
just such a safe place to meet up and just be with each other, you know?
Yeah, I think it would be amazing, and just, you know, being that person for each other. Like, we're so much that person for each other on TikTok, but just to see that person, to actually give them a hug, like,
Yeah.
I get like warm fuzzy feeling just thinking.
Yeah.
No, that's true. It's awesome. Yeah, I mean, it's true. Yeah, like, I mean, speaking of friends, Fight, Win, and Survive been napping, and she's, you know, one that has, you know, talked about a lot of the extreme circumstances that she's in. Right, she was the one that Nell was talking about some of the abuse and things, and so,
Yeah.
So she's joined, and I don't know how much longer we're going to be on here. And of course, you can, my friend, you know, watch the recording that I'll upload to YouTube as well.
Well, and I don't know. I'm trying to keep up with the chat, you guys, but like,
It looks like
whatever
there's some
you're
off
going
chatter
through,
going on.
yeah, whatever you're going through, Dirty Uncle, we're all here. I hope that you know that. We would love to have you on. Please email us, any of you.
So, Dirty Uncle Ginger, that's in the live right now.
Yeah.
So him and I connected quite a while ago.
Yeah.
And found out, because I said something, I was on a live, and then we were talking about Sjogren's, and he also has Sjogren's.
He has it. Yeah.
Oh,
And, you know, not to put too much of his story out there, but he has the issues with the salivary glands and, you know, stuff like that. And not getting the answers, not figuring out what's going on.
yeah.
So,
That's
Oh,
tough.
that's good.
Yeah.
I saw, he looks familiar. We're friends, and I saw him be part of turning TikTok purple, right? Being influenced by you and stuff. And he's got a nice little hoodie that's got some ribbon purple
We have
stuff.
matching
Yeah,
hoodies.
what?
That's because
So what's
he
the
saw
hoodie
my
everybody's
hoodie.
talking about?
Yeah, so
I'm like,
it's
hoodie.
a pretty badass
It was
purple
the-
chronic
It
cut.
was the purple hoodie that I was wearing in one of the videos
Yeah.
for
Okay.
turning TikTok purple. It's a skull. It's purple and black, but it says "Fight Like a Girl" on it on the arms. But then the front there is like a fairy and a skull, and I love skulls. Absolutely love
My
them.
daughter does too.
And it has like the purple ribbon and stuff, and I got it originally for the purple for lupus is how it came up, but it also, like I said, purple stands for so many different awarenesses, so Sjogren's and lupus and stuff like that. Well, I was live one day, and he came in, and he screenshotted my live and sent me a message, and it was like, "Where did you get that
I
hoodie?"
need that hoodie.
Oh.
Yeah.
I need that hoodie. So
That's
I sent him the
awesome.
link to get the hoodie.
Oh,
and
yeah.
So now we have the matching
that's
hoodies.
awesome.
And I was like, and before we turned TikTok purple, I was like, yeah, we really need to do a video in our matching hoodies.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
That
then we
was
turned
fun.
TikTok purple, and
With
it was like perfect.
it
It was
was.
ideal.
You
so
planned
now
it.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For those of you who weren't in here when earlier on we were talking about creating some kind of a calendar, because a lot of us don't know. Well, most of us do not know
that.
most of all these other conditions people have. But it would be nice to be able to just look at a calendar and say, okay, this month is this, and this awareness month, and these are the colors, and we can reach out to each other and our friends that need support, and it's
I would like that, and to find out who was drawn to the community and what their condition has. I mean, because they're already starting to see kind of some similarities, and they're developing friends, but they haven't had an opportunity to share, with more people what their story is, let alone maybe have an opportunity to come on as a guest, and so having them have that opportunity where they're feeling like, this is people that really care and that want to hear my voice,
And along with that, I talked to Rex about this. So we've mentioned this. So for any of you that haven't gone over to our YouTube, please, if you wouldn't mind, just click subscribe and share.
Go subscribe to our YouTube.
1,000 so that we can start doing lives there as well. And I would like to
link in bio.
Take you on a journey as I go through a surgery that I'm trying to that I'm trying to have and bring you guys along with me, and those will be where I will put those uploads. But also, what were we just
the
calendar. You like the idea of knowing.
Oh no, so I was talking to Rex, and I said on YouTube what I really like is that we can just, instead of a Zoom call, we can be on a panel where we can just drop the link in the feed, and you can choose whether your face is shown or not, but it still shows when you're speaking. And so a lot of you might not want to necessarily get on, or maybe it's just a hard day where, like me, I'm just, when Misty got on here, before anybody even joined, I was letting her know today was not a good one.
Yeah.
And maybe it's just, you haven't been able to get ready, but you really want to be heard. And then what we could do is we could have maybe 4 or 5 of you on that have the same diagnoses, right? So you can all be talking together and educating all of us. And that happens much, much easier.
And you don't have to have
YouTube.
Zoom, right, with YouTube?
Absolutely not.
They have the technology.
It's built in.
It's kind of
and we can be dropping the link, and anybody who wants to join, we just have to approve for you to join once you hit that link.
Okay.
And so a lot can happen over there, and I would love to see that side of things come alive as well. But
yeah, I think that would be awesome.
Yeah, wouldn't that?
I will most definitely take the lead on at least getting the calendar and like looking at the days and what, all the different conditions. So I'll definitely take the lead on that.
Okay.
And the one thing too is on TikTok there's so many different hashtags. And I've connected with so many people with similar conditions as mine just by simply using those hashtags.
Yeah.
Yeah.
While we're on the subject, you guys, we have. Can I just?
Yeah, one last thought, because we need to kind of wrap up.
Yeah. We've now been banned 3 times in 3 weeks, a week at a time.
That's ridiculous. That makes me angry.
And they not one response back. We don't know.
I do have a question on that. Because when I talked to Rex, he said that he couldn't post, but you could still go live.
Yeah, it was saying that
it's really strange.
It was the ban specific to posting.
So every time he posts, they catch us like that. We don't know if it's someone that is continually. But they say we are violating several things. But they won't tell us a word. They've never responded to Rex.
Well, I think something's just broke. Yeah, I don't know if you guys want to try to send a ticket.
But it does such damage. You guys would be seeing so much more if it wasn't.
We want to do.
And really quick, we just need to, while we've got you guys in the group, we'll re-show you the prizes for this week. And then anybody who's interested in them, because we obviously, if you're not interested in some of the prizes that we do each week, let someone else take it that will use it. So if you are, just throw a heart in, and then Rex's magic little finger until we get our spin wheel going. It's what's gonna be the deciding factor. But so Rex, you have him right there.
Yeah, and Misty, I know that you're you can dip off if you need to, because I know that you've got something that you need to get going. But why don't we do that? Let's let Misty go, because she's got something that she needs to be getting to you guys, and wanted to just thank you, Misty, for coming on, and then
Absolutely.
as
It's
you're
my pleasure.
yeah, and
Thank
you know,
you so much.
we'll be in touch, and then we'll get into some of this gift stuff for those that want to stay with us. But
And Misty, will you send us your address? Because
Yes.
so whoever does come on each week, we'll be sending something to you personally anyway. So
Yeah, absolutely. I'll send it to Rex, and then Rex, side note, we'll talk offline tomorrow.
okay.
hey,
Yep, sounds good. But thank you for coming on, and
we
Yeah,
love you.
absolutely, my pleasure. Like I said, anytime that I'm always happy to be here and always happy to collaborate and
You're amazing.
yeah, go
you're amazing.
Can't say thank you enough.
take care of those little kiddos.
I absolutely will. I
Okay.
love you guys.
Love
Thank
you
you,
too.
everybody who
Love
joined
you.
tonight and joined us. And like I said,
Let's all hang in there.
conversation's just starting.
Just to begin.
Yeah, I know.
All right. Okay, have a good night,
love
my
you
friend.
guys.
Love you
Bye.
too. Bye.
Thanks.
Okay, so what about where were we going? Oh, I thought he just shut you guys out.
No,
I was like, you guys, you're still
yeah,
here.
Misty just had to go, so I appreciate you
Okay.
guys.
I that was the slowest shutdown, and I was just, my jaw was dropped. I'm like,
No,
he almost got in trouble, you guys.
we are good to end with what Nell is talking about with some of this gift stuff. So
So guys, anybody who hasn't heard me before, every week that we get on here, so if you're the guest, we'll be sending something out to you just for being a guest. But every week we there's certain things products that I've fallen in love with over the years, or that have really helped me. It could have something to do with, my chronic pain or chronic condition, and sometimes it makes my life more beautiful and so that's, or just fun. Mm-hmm. So, we showed, so one of my favorite skin care companies ever is called Beekman's, and they've been around since 1802, I believe, and it is all kind of goat milk based. So I know with a lot of conditions comes a lot of skin sensitivity, and they are incredible. They are incredible company. So, well, that goes with the body cream, so show that. So one of the prizes tonight will be the body soap, and then this incredibly rich, amazing body cream from Beekman's, and they are just such an amazing company. And I believe it's honey grapefruit. That's the scent of those. So if you're interested in that, just throw up a purple heart.
A purple heart. So
that we know that we're putting your name in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you put a purple heart in the comments right now, that means
and any family that's in here, go away. You're not getting the gifts.
Yeah, that means that you are putting your name in the hat, and we're going to make a selection out of the comments that have put a purple heart. Right. So, and that's just for this combination right now, right? No, that's the one we're doing right now.
Yeah, but you're showing the back or side.
Sorry.
Oh, Vanna, come on. No, now you're showing the front. Oh, there we are. No, wait, oh no, you have it right. I'm lagged a little bit.
Okay, so we've got
perfect.
Sess
so
has one. We have one of them. So
Sess is interested.
We got some more coming here.
Perfect.
So we're giving it a minute here to throw out some purple hearts.
Facial pain warrior. I'm already you and I need to connect. I'm going to follow you right now because that is my life right there. I just followed you, sweet lady. So we'll talk. So let's show the next. The next is the same company. It's just a different little duo. Rex, so if you can grab the other two.
I was into that.
The hand cream. This one is hand cream, and it's hand cream and.
But do we need to make a selection with this out of the red hearts, or I mean, out of the purple?
No,
hearts?
because if they're interested in, they can say I'm interested in all of it.
Okay.
But hold up the lip balm with it. So the next grouping is this hand cream and their lip balm. Same. It's going to be honey grapefruit. Incredible company. Very safe. Very natural. I think you'll really love it. So again, if you're interested in these, just throw up hearts again. And then once in a while, you guys, a lot of these are going to be, what am I trying? I had the word last week. You guys will get to know me and you'll realize that I lose my
train of thought sometimes.
I do. They'll fit whether they're great gifts whether you're a man or woman.
They're compatible. They're kind of interchangeable.
So this next one I thought would be so fun for a guy though, because just it's black. I love poopery. No home should go without it. Do your home a favor. And it's an extra big bottle. But I was like, wouldn't that be awesome for just, a guy? And it's called Royal Flush. So it's one of my favorite ones. I love the name. I love the design they put. I love that it's black. And this stuff works. Like I said, no home should be without this. I mean, eventually, one day I'm going to be sponsored by them because I love them that much. So again, even if you guys think, someone in my home, my husband, or because we realize, these chronic conditions, anyone who's there sticking with you and living it with you, if you even think that these, you might not use so much, but your wife or husband will, or daughter or whoever, that is just fine.
Yeah.
Throw up the hearts and we will get it out to you. And we will, and then we still have yet to announce the bigger prizes from Young Living. But, so we have the 3 prizes, the poopery, and then the 2 sets of the Beekman soap, lotion, and lip balm.
Okay.
So I'm going to just scroll through real quick and see who, and if you can too, Rex, just throw out names that have the purple hearts, and then like Dirty Uncle Ginger, you have purple,
yes,
you have purple hearts up there too. Are you?
He's wanting the poopery, I think.
Okay, he just went straight for it.
We actually threw up those hearts before we did the game, but let's just make him eligible for the poopery. Guy could always benefit from some poopery.
A family can benefit.
I got
Humans
your back.
Can benefit, all right? I just need to know
Got your back, Ginger.
Like, you just totally threw me off. So, Dirty Uncle, if say we draw your name and it's the Beekman soap that's ginger grapefruit.
Yeah, it's pretty much between...
Do you or someone in your life...
Well, listen, we've got Facial Warrior, Cess, and Dirty Uncle. Not Dirty Uncle.
Yeah, it is.
Is it
Dirty Uncle Ginger.
Oh. Well.
Are you saying I'm saying it wrong? Because I'm not.
Oh, Ginger. Yeah, that's worth... There we go.
That's such an awesome name.
Yeah. But anyway, there's the 3 candidates right there. And we got 3... I mean, we got 3 things. Maybe
if we've only got 3 people that throw hearts, you 3 deserve.
Boom.
We're doing it. Dirty Uncle, the
Dirty
poopery,
Uncle.
coming to you.
Send me your guys' email. Send me your physical address.
Facial Pain Warrior, would you like the body cream and the bar soap, which is so awesome on your face?
Facial Warrior, what do you say? You want that?
Yay! Okay, that's yours.
Okay, send me your guys' physical address to rex.nell
and then
at gmail.com so that we can deliver, guys. But
and then Cess, the hand cream and the lip balm, which you'll love.
Cess,
that's yours.
Reminder. Free product right there, Cess.
Yay! So, yeah, Cess, facial pain, and Dirty Uncle. Drop us your addresses at rex.nell@gmail. I'll put that in here again. Yep. And then if you guys are interested in telling your stories, and let us know if you want to wait for YouTube panel and maybe not have to worry about your face being on there.
Yeah, that's true.
Let us know so that we can put you... We can put your name on that list, for when we are able to go live.
You send an email, say, here's the address for the gift. This is what if I'm interested in being on the special guest, and whether it matters whether we go, wait to go to YouTube or on here. You could say, take a hike. I don't want to be on camera or whatever, and I just want the free gift. It doesn't matter, but
because honestly. Of course, it'd be amazing to see your amazing, beautiful faces.
Absolutely.
But I totally get when you are just not feeling your best and you've just gone through a hellish day.
That might be too much for fun.
But you're able to talk from your bed, or you're able to talk for
Yeah.
We will meet you how you define meeting you is. So that what I mean.
Well, even if a special guest wanted to talk on a live, but they wanted to have
their... That's so good to hear, Facial Pain Warrior. That's awesome.
And they wanted to have,
we'd be happy.
They wanted to have their camera just on, some part of their home, and then just talk. They don't have to be in front. Like a certain
corner of the home, and you want, you're proud of, because, and I say this as somebody who I love art and I love decor. So if you just want the camera to just rest on a certain part of your home that you love, or something that you love to look at that's peaceful, but when you are up on panel, you can decide whether it's the camera's just stationed on something.
Yeah, really.
Or you can decide whether it's a quote, but you're talking, or it's just a black screen. But we'll always be able to see when it's you talking because it's got that voice... little bubble. It will always show when it's you talking, so there'll be no confusion.
Yeah. YouTube kind of works like that, and then even if you're on a Zoom, it's kind of like that too. So either way, you get to control how you want to do it.
YouTube does this better. I love you.
Are you talking
the way
about
YouTube?
phone?
I like. Yeah, that was weird.
I'm like, the mic's over here, woman. She's like, YouTube does it better. We're just
like a walkie-talkie.
It's Taco Bell time, folks.
It's really late.
She's like, she's like, YouTube. She's like, YouTube does it better though. And the mic is right here, guys. What time is it, y'all? Oh shoot, I gotta go take care of her. We gotta go get her something to eat or something.
Leave me alone. Oh my gosh. Anyway. I like how... Fine, I'll yell it. I really do love how they... And then it's easier because while we're live, we can be dropping the link in the live. And you can come up and stay on, and then someone else can come up, and there can be 8 of us.
Oh, with the YouTube, yeah.
So really let's say that week we're focusing on... trigeminal neuralgia or whatever, and there's a few of you that want to come up and you really want to talk, not only teach us and help us understand what you go through, but you really want to talk to people that you haven't been able to, that experience what you do to a large degree.
Mm-hmm.
It is a very, very nice feature that they have, and I love it.
I think that as we start doing that, we could have this going live, and then you've got someone else's phone on our YouTube channel, and then that's going live. We can actually do a dual live.
Yeah, we can. We can do that either with TikTok or Instagram.
Yeah, because some people, maybe haven't, anyway, some people
if you guys
like
wouldn't
Tia
mind,
Stokes does that kind of thing.
That's true. I know a lot of people that do that too. If you guys wouldn't mind just heading over to Rex and Elle on YouTube, giving it
a subscribe.
Yeah, please, and just share it with anyone you know that's suffering with anything. We'll eventually get to them because every single one of them is important. But
and
please share it. It's slow going, but we hope. And for anybody that didn't hear earlier, Rex will actually be on Good Things Utah here, so that's a massive step.
Yeah.
In the right direction.
Yeah, Good Things Utah is the longest running lifestyle TV program where they combine news and kind of entertainment. So it's been 20 years.
Kind of like Good Morning America,
but for
Utah version.
And we got
so he'll be on next Tuesday.
And
next Tuesday.
That'll be at 10 o'clock Mountain Standard Time on Channel 4 for Utah, ABC. Nisha DeGearing is the host, and I've been coordinating with the producer the details to get that going. So
and we hope
check
we
out Nisha
represent
DeGearing.
You guys like you deserve.
Yep. Go give her some love. She's one that helped to kind of make that happen when I originally reached out to Nisha DeGearing. She's the one that's been the host.
But we wouldn't be here at all if it wasn't for you guys
for sure.
being willing to tell your story and say your truth, and you're what we need to stop the isolation and the stigma and everything else that happens, and even the abuse and the abandonment, and we can go on and on and on. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and it's people like Facial Pain Warrior, Fight, Win and Survive, Cess, Curly Dog,
Dirty Uncle.
Yeah, these you guys are leaders as part of joining this conversation and influencing, taking this back in the circles that you guys are at. And so as we talk about, things in a setting like that, just know that you're part of that, right? There's only so much, obviously, that we can talk about in the 5-minute segment that we have. But I think that call, so if you can... people will get the gist that there are other people that are involved with it, and so just know. I'd love to just name everybody, and it's all deserving. Nell and I were just talking about it yesterday. There's just only so much you can fit in 5 minutes, right?
Yeah.
But
and for those of you who love, I don't know if you guys have heard of Scentsy. So I'm a consultant now. So some of the gifts are going to be Scentsy.
Yeah, isn't that fun? Hey, Phoenix, what's up, girl?
Hey, Phoenix.
You just barely joined us, and we're getting ready to go. I'm going to upload this.
Yep, it's always uploaded.
She is one of the most empathetic, compassionate souls.
Let me hurry and click on.
Yeah, Phoenix Rising, guys. Follow Phoenix Rising.
I might already be following you.
She totally blew me away with just her heart for people, and we connected pretty quickly. She's a nurse, I want to say.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong, Phoenix, but I think you...
Phoenix, I just followed you.
I know that
Thank you for being here.
Yeah, she's been in the throes of COVID.
Thank you so much for your service. Our youngest daughter is going to be a paramedic, and so I can't thank you enough for that is such a selfless thing.
Yeah.
Takes a very special person.
Yeah, Phoenix, we were just saying that we got invited to be booked for Good Things Utah, Channel 4 TV program. There's going to be a 5-minute segment that we're going to be able to do, and talking about how Nell's dream has kind of evolved to where we're...
it's all of our dreams. Yeah. Forget about me. Invite whoever you can. We're trying to get this to as many people as we can across the globe that are not getting the love and the understanding.
Yeah.
And they're completely living in complete
They
isolation
feel alone.
that most of us don't understand.
Yeah, people
So
taking their life. In fact, that's
Yeah.
there was one. I actually, real quick, Phoenix, Misty Marvin
Who was
helped
just on?
helped save. His name. Come on, what's his name?
Well, you don't need a name. He might not want to always mentioned.
Yeah, but he had posted a
That
goodbye.
he was in trouble.
Yeah, a goodbye, and I think it was Phoenix that literally posted something that was like that, where there was a gamer and he was saying it's just kind of downhill from here.
Oh.
And he actually did take his life, and so she has been amazing in helping influence to help curb that as much as possible as well. So she's a huge ally. And
I can't I can't take the thought of one more. That's a nightmare.
It's true.
It's a haunting nightmare.
Much love.
Much
love for what you're
thank
doing.
You so we just can't thank you enough. Me personally, you guys give me so much to look forward to, and you have added so much happiness to our lives, and you've just enriched it more than you know.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not sure how to properly thank you guys for that. So hopefully in time we'll be able to express how much our appreciation and love runs for you guys. So thank you.
Yeah, we sure enjoy our times these Thursdays. I think I have in mind who it's going to be next week. It's not completely in stone, but we'll post who it's going to be. But join us next week.
And hopefully we're not banned again. And I'm not saying that to just
for the post. Yeah.
But yeah, being banned 3 weeks in a row for a week at a time has been very debilitating to our channel. Yeah. So we are so sorry if you haven't had
some posts. Yeah.
Yeah, you haven't had an idea of what's coming. You haven't,
I've been able to post 2 posts in like a month.
Yep.
It's been kind of sad. We'll figure out what's going on there. But
anyway, have a wonderful rest of your night and weekend.
Yes. Go get some rest,
Please
everybody.
be safe, and we will be back Thursday for sure.
You got it. Go check out the recording on YouTube. It'll be uploaded pretty soon. Thanks for those that have hung in there for all this time. I see your faces, beautiful faces, and we'll see you guys next week. Have a great night, okay?
Remember, the spoonful of sugar. Sure. Always, always, for any spoonies out there or not. And I hope to do some artwork on that. But the whole idea is no matter how many spoons you have left, if it's the last spoon you have left of the day, as we're all just only allocated so many, but use that spoonful of sugar to serve. That's the reason I call it that. Mm-hmm. That is exactly where happiness, true joy comes from. So,
amen.
And hopefully the artwork will be done here soon, for that, because that'll be fun. I can't wait to get that out, and we can send you some postcards with that or whatever. And we'll be opening a P.O. box soon, because I want to start a wall of postcards from y'all or something. Yeah.
Do some opening of stuff.
Yes. Just postcards from you. That'd be so fun. So when we get that open, we'll let you know.
For sure.
And we'll keep these giveaways going too. So love you all.
All right.
Thank you.
Love you. Have a good night. We'll see you next week. Night.